behind the goal away to our right-hand side. The York City supporters packed in tight into that far corner of the ground on the terrace at the far side. It looks chock-a-block in there. Adam Hinshelwood went across when he first came out of the tunnel around 10 minutes ago to applaud all those York City supporters. The game is underway. Hunt sent it forward, and that goes all the way through to Coverlan, the goalkeeper, who gets an early first touch in his bright yellow goalkeeping kit. How do you think Ebbsfleet are going to play this day? We know how York City are going to play, Ian. What do you think they're going to do?
Ebbsfleet, I'm guessing against the other night at Rochdale, was it? They've probably shut up shop, try and get a point, try and keep in the game as long as they possibly can. That'll go out the windows if York City could find a goal early on, David.
And Mr. Dale gives York City a free kick there. He's refereed York City once before this season. That was the 2-0 win at Willesden. It's the only game, actually, this season that he's refereed that he's not shown a yellow card in. He's also refereed Ebbsfleet once this season, and that was their 4-0 defeat at Southend on Boxing Day.
Does he favour home or away teams?
Very good, very, very good. Long ball downfield by York City, and that's put straight into touch on that far side of the field by Anthony Stewart. Hits the roof of the stand. It's a bit dilapidated, that roof, isn't it? The corrugated iron looks as though it could collapse at any second.
It genuinely does. I looked across it earlier about 10 minutes ago and thought, I wouldn't like to be sat underneath it.
Down the line it goes from City.
Nervously looking
held up by Armstrong. Sinclair then tries to give it to John from the throw-in, and it goes into touch. That's a poor pass from Tyree Sinclair, and it's a throw-in now to the home team. Deep inside their defensive third, we can see an open top, dilapidated double-decker red bus as well over there in the corner of the ground, which you don't often see in a football ground.
That's a good spot through those trees, it really is. I wonder if that comes out for summer, do you think?
Long live Barry Parker.
There's Barry Parker over there as well.
Oh, that's a good little move down this left-hand side to skip past Dan Batty. He sent him onto his backside, actually. Picked up by Moncur. Left-hand side of the York penalty area. He's forced wide. Left. Comes back inside to Edser. He tries to work it back to his colleague, his teammate, but City get it back through Hunt. Then there's a little nibble there at the heels of Alex Hunt. The referee saw it. He tried to give the advantage to York City. He pulls play back, and that'll be a free kick to the away team on the right-hand side that Joe Felix will get ready to take. Josh Wright, the Ebbsfleet manager, he actually played in the side that were beaten 4-0 at the LNER earlier in the season. He's their third manager of the season, which tells you all you need to know, I think, about a side that is struggling so much in the National League. Just one win to their name all season. That was here back in September against Hartlepool United. How do you feel if you're Hartlepool United?
Yeah, they're gutted. He's brother of a famous celebrity, isn't he, as well? Josh Wright?
He is. Mark Wright's brother. A reality TV star. I'm not going to call him the former footballer.
I'd be much more impressed
that was a bit of a PR.
Mark Wright, the former player.
Yeah. Another foul given against the home team. The referee just opens his arms out and says it's a silly tackle on Alex Hunt, and it is. It's a free kick just inside. Oh, Malachi's taking it about 5-6 yards further back in the other half of the field to get play back underway, and goes back to Batty. That's a bit strange from Fagan Walcott. He should have come forward for that.
It's a little bit, yeah.
Long ball downfield. Goalkeeper comes out of his box and got there before Pearce heads it into midfield, and it's cleared on this left-hand side by Lancashire. It was a good starting position from the goalkeeper, but he could have waited, I think, in his penalty area, and it would come through to him.
I've just noticed the floodlights have come on, David, and there's actually only 7 lights to each floodlight.
Yeah, it is pretty chilly here today, and a little bit murky. I'll be honest, it's not the most salubrious part of the country when you get down here to Ebbsfleet. It doesn't look great on a murky Saturday afternoon in February. City win the ball back just outside their own penalty area with Batty.
Not sure it looked much better on a sunny afternoon in August, to be honest. That's just me.
That's Ian Dunn, everybody.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. All I can see is a stand that looks like it's going to fall down at any moment.
In his and
a double-decker bus
down the centre of the field. Sinclair got there first before the defender, but couldn't take it in his stride. And Ebbsfleet are going to clear through Dallison on this left-hand side. He gives it to Lancashire on loan from Blackpool. Now it does go down the line, up towards halfway. Fagan Walcott trying to hold off his man. Referee gives nothing there. Felix can't get there. And Edser comes forward for Ebbsfleet. Sliding tackle from Callum Howe. And the ball rebounds all the way back. Once more to Harrison Mayle. 0-0. BBC Radio York, just over 4 minutes gone. Here. 81333 on the text. If you want to get in touch, start your message with the word York. At BBC York Sport on social media. And 08000 321 333. On WhatsApp. Again, start your message with the word York. Long ball downfield. You can also send a voice message as well on there. Ball falls to Pearce. Dipping volley from 35 yards, and it's onto the roof of the net.
Oh, my word.
Oh, the ball just dropped for Pearce. He hit it first time. The goalkeeper's backpedaling. He wasn't getting there. A yard shorter, and that goes into the back of the net. Audacious from Ollie Pearce.
Yeah, fantastic. Seen the keeper off his line, hasn't he? I wonder if that's a thing. If the keeper... Be interesting in the next 10-15 minutes to watch the keeper, because it might be that he's one of those goalies that does play a little bit higher advanced, and City are aware of that, because Pearce didn't think twice there. I'm not sure he didn't have the time to see the keeper off his line. He just thought, I'm having a go. It stood up for him.
It's a long ball downfield from Mail. Defender nods it back. Pearce is there. Takes one touch to control, and then he lobs the keeper. Oh, it's so close.
My word.
It's so close.
That would have been a contender, wouldn't it, if that goes in?
Certainly would.
Great effort from Pearce.
Goal kick taken then by Kovlan. Into midfield it goes. City win the ball back immediately. Away to our left-hand side, we see Tyler Cordner sitting there. I can't see from here, but I'm sure he's there as well. Callum Harriott. We saw Callum Harriott actually when we first arrived at the ground. Had a quick hello from him. He seems to be in good fettle, despite, once again, in fact, I can see him having yet another injury, Callum Harriott. Tyler Cordner, of course, is also injured, but he would have been available to play in this match, as he would have been in the game at the LNER, if fit, unlike the other lone players that York City could have come up against this season. Adam Hinshelwood was happy for Tyler Cordner to play.
Yeah, tells you everything, maybe. Not my words, his. But, yeah, Callum Harriott, he was so close to being a really good signing, but he just couldn't keep fit, could he? If he could have done, he'd have been a heck of a player.
Moncur then, over this free kick. 45 yards out, inside left. Everyone goes forward for the home team. He swings it into the penalty area. It's a deep one. Round the back, they've got men over. They win the header as well, and Joe Felix is there on the edge of the penalty area to scoop it clear for City down that left-hand side. Defender's going to get there first, though, over there. Franklin Domi was back out helping his defence, and now the red shirts have it once more. Sent forward. First time round the corner. They're pretty direct from Ebbsfleet here, from what we've seen so far. The York City man goes down the centre of the field. It's Ollie Pearce. He's clattered into by the number 27, Aaron Bolger. He's on loan from St Patrick's Athletic.
Oh, Irish team.
Yeah, well, his other former teams are Shamrock Rovers and Cork City, so I wonder what he makes of this little corner of Kent.
Good crack.
You're on top form today, aren't you?
Ollie Pearce did take one to the back of the head there. It's,
Batty takes the free kick to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott into midfield to Pearce, who's dropped deep. He lays it off once more to Batty. Batty sidesteps his man, and he's got a bit of room to work in. Sends it out to the left-hand side. Lovely ball to Cam John. John round the corner. Sinclair's going to be offside.
Yeah.
It just drifted. All the arms go up in the Ebbsfleet back line, and the flag was also raised.
That was well played by Ebbsfleet's defence, actually, because they could see Sinclair was making that run, and they've all stepped up in unison.
The Ebbsfleet, there's a flag, don't
Unity.
Before my time, I don't really remember the flag that used to fly over the social club in the corner of the ground back at Bootham Crescent.
Yes.
But Ebbsfleet have got their own version of it over there near that dilapidated open-top bus. It looks rather sad, doesn't it? Sort of tells you everything about their season looking at that flag.
Yeah, it looks like the flag's given up. Literally, it isn't moving. It's cold, it's miserable.
And it's all wrapped around the flagpole.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that far side of the ground, in front of the...
Which tells us there's no breeze.
That is also true.
Yeah.
That is also true. In front of the bar over there, selling teas and coffees and hot food, it says on it. Ebbsfleet have it at the back once more, into the centre circle for Olagunju. Now down the right-hand side, little nice ball round the corner for Moncur. Moncur crossing position, puts the ball into the penalty area, cut out by Howe at the near post. It's going to come back to a red shirt. Oh no, Tyree Sinclair does really well, gets back in, nicks it off the Ebbsfleet man who never saw him coming from behind him. Now City come forward in the centre of the field with John. Tackle comes in on Nathaniel George this time. Referee calls the older shot, the Ebbsfleet player back.
You saw one, that's like a little bit of a dead leg in his thigh, wasn't it? Actually, Nathaniel George.
Yeah. Referee's having a word with him here. Tom Dallison. But that's all it is. It's a quiet word. It remains 0-0. Batty takes the free kick, gets it back off Hunt, now across to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott goes back to his goalkeeper. Plenty of flags as well in that York City away end.
Yeah, they are packed in tightly.
Yeah. Callum Howe sends this one forward. Goalkeeper again, way outside of his area to volley clear.
One to watch that. I bet City players will know
falls
about
over,
it.
handles it. The referee doesn't give anything to his falling, completely accidental. Now it's Joe Felix on this right side. He's told to go forward by Fagan Walcott, but he's not keen to for some reason, and he goes infield to Batty. Fagan Walcott now to Howe. Nathaniel George standing right in front of us on this right wing. Felix cuts infield. Hunt tries to get away from his man in the centre circle. Sends it back to Batty. Batty's playing as last man here, trying to orchestrate proceedings for York City. Nice crossfield ball to John. John into Hunt. Loads of room in the centre circle for Hunt to pick out a pass. He picks out Nathaniel George. Lovely ball down this right side. Oh, lovely, because he's gone offside.
Yes.
That's why he was in so much space. They just left him. Disappointing that from Ashley Nathaniel George. He was looking right across the line here.
He was. He went and then came back, but that first movement has caught him offside. The linesman's seen it and has correctly flagged. But decent from City, keeping the ball, moving it around, trying to create an opening, trying to get the wingers in.
Allison into the centre of the defence for Ebbsfleet to put it straight into touch on halfway the far side, the ground. The last time I was here, I didn't do the game last season, I was on holiday. The last time I was here was that opening day of the season, back in 2011-2012 under Gary Mills, where City eventually got promoted. Lucky to get out alive that day I was. I was in the away end. And then as it was then, they didn't open up the turnstiles. I don't know if I take it it's changed. I remember at Plymouth as well, they never used to open up the turnstiles in the away end down at Home Park after games, and you had to wait for all the home fans to disappear first and then walk around the ground, inside the ground to where all the home fans were. Well, I needed to get out quickly to get a train right at the end. And City got that penalty deep in injury time, and I was somewhere near where we are now in this main stand, but it was all terracing at that time. This is a new stand that we're in.
Right.
And of course, they got the penalty. Jason Walker put it away, and I'm mixed in here trying to get to the exits with my dad. Of course, I was a composed, calm. You would never have guessed I was a York City supporter in the home end as I tried to head for the exits.
God, I wasn't with you that day.
My dad didn't want to be with me that day either. I think he thought he was going to get lynched as well.
Yeah.
But we're here to tell the story, and he's back in the away end with my son today. They probably don't recognise me after 12 years away. I'll be all right.
Although if anyone's listening in, David is sat here.
Throw into Ebbsfleet, far side of the field, on halfway, 0-0. Still waiting for the first real chance of the game, although Ollie Pearce came so close to giving York City the early lead. Howe heads it up in the air, doesn't get any distance on it, and it's going to be picked up by Sinclair, and then he's clipped. That's going to be a yellow card.
Cynical.
That's naughty. It was very cynical. That's the right word. And the yellow card, he was sharpish there getting that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's right.
Josh Passley.
Yeah, he's right in his flight of view path there for referee. Just a silly. I'm not even sure Sinclair was going anywhere there.
So Josh Passley is the first man in the book. Sinclair doesn't need treatment. He's going to get up and hobble away. Passley now has got to be careful up against Tyrese Sinclair.
As I say, for a fullback to do that in a position like he did, he's always given himself tough afternoon.
He's more of an attacker than a defender playing on that right hand wing back role. He wasn't keen on getting back there, was he? So he just thought, I'm just going to have a little nibble here. Long ball forward for Batty, looking for Felix, who's come forward. Two Ebbsfleet players leave it to each other. Comes to Felix. Felix can't get it out of his feet. Then he's fouled right in front of us. The referee gives the decision. The crowd to our right hand side aren't happy, but it's the right decision. It was a free kick, and City's first chance of the afternoon to put the ball into the box.
It's a lovely pick from Batty. Joe Felix making the run as ever, and Batty just pinging it almost straight down the right hand side here. And the only way they could stop Joe Felix was to bring him down.
First time the big men go forward for York City. Ollie Pearce stands in an offside position in the centre of the penalty area near the penalty spot. He'll drop back in a second. It's going to go across the far side, looking for Howe. Howe can't win the header, actually. The defender got there better of him there, not once but twice, but it's going to fall to John. John comes forward, edge of the box, he loses possession, and he leaves his foot in there on the man who just got booked, Josh Passley, and that's a free kick to the home side. 0-0 it remains. I'm getting kicked by the reporter sat directly behind me. Maybe he's heard us talking about what happened here and he's trying to get his own back.
Yes, yeah.
It's extremely tight in this press box. In this small, newish stand. Get on the ball, shouts Josh Wright, the Ebbsfleet. Well, he is officially player manager, but I think we can call him manager, because he's not done any playing since taking over. And listening to his interviews, I don't think he plans to. Flicks out a play off a York City head, far side of the field. It's a throw in the York City defensive third for Ebbsfleet. Passley still deciding what to do with it. Still 0-0. Takes it to Moncur. Moncur gives it back to him. Cross then eventually comes into the York City penalty area. Ooh, I think Harrison Mayles missed that. Goes back towards his goal and he's helped out by Joe Felix, who's there to clear under no pressure. A little bit shaky there, Harrison Mayles. Don't often say that.
He's made his mind up to come early, but I don't think he was ever actually getting there.
Now City work it out to Felix. He gives it to Nathaniel George on this right-hand side. Back to Felix. Fagan Walcott. City again content to have it at the back. Allows Ebbsfleet to get everyone back behind the ball. Fagan Walcott gets it back once more off Nathaniel George. Then he goes long down this right-hand side, looking for Hunt, who's burst forward. Appeals for offside. Flag won't go up this time. Hunt tries to skip past his man, flicks it over the defender's head, and they're going to clear now in the penalty area if they don't make a mess of it. They're still passing it around in there, Ebbsfleet. Had plenty of opportunities, and they have made a mess of it. But they're going to get lucky as it comes into touch off Nathaniel George, and that'll be a throw-in. Tight against the corner flag to the home side. What were they doing there, Ebbsfleet?
They were taking gambles and risks. That's what they were doing. Trying to play little triangles inside their own box, and they did get lucky because it just didn't fall for York City and bounced off Hunt for a throw-in. But you can see why they're struggling if that's a theme.
Throwing down the line, Batty wins the header, finds Pearce, appeals again for a foul. Bush, but nothing given by the referee who had a perfect view.
It was just
John now on the left-hand side. He turns back though towards halfway and gives it back to Batty. Batty back again to John, who's seen a lot of the ball on that left-hand side. Gives it to Sinclair. Sinclair comes infield, forced back to halfway to Hunt. He just flicks it back to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott now to this right-hand side. Nathaniel George, his gloves on, comes infield. Goes back to Fagan Walcott. He tries to play it down the line. It's blocked and goes into touch off Franklin Domi, former QPR man, and that's a throw into York City on halfway.
The volume of players that were blocking City there was no real out ball.
Just a couple of goals so far in the National League. Braintree lead Forest Green by a 1-0, and Altrincham will one up at Gateshead. I've noticed that Regan Linney, who is currently, I think, the National League's leading goal scorer actually after scoring in midweek at Oldham when Ollie Pearce missing last week's game. He is one yellow card away from a 2-game ban, is Regan Linney, so could do to keep himself squeaky clean for a couple of games, and if he wants to go and get booked a couple of games before they come to York, he'd be more than welcome to.
You said confirmation from Steve Dorey at the club, David. It is indeed coconut milk.
Yes.
The kit. It's a nice look, lovely kit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's white.
Coconut milk.
Field for John.
Coconut milk.
Armstrong to this right hand side to Felix. He can put a cross in. Bounces edge, handball appeals, edge of box, almost falls for Armstrong to burst through in the penalty area. Last ditch tackle. And Ebbsfleet are fortunate on that occasion to get away with it.
Yeah, they were. It just dropped again. It just didn't quite drop for City. But you feel Ebbsfleet, this defence look like they've got problems, mistakes in them. And City have just got to be alive and be ready for the next one.
Hunt, under no pressure, gives it to John. Knocking it around the back once more, a City. Howe, Batty, Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott gives it to Nathaniel George. Nathaniel George gets past Edson. It's almost pulled down there, Nathaniel George, all over him. Oh, does well to skip past one man. Shot comes in. Goalkeeper palms it away with both hands. It was right at him. Goalkeeper should have saved it, but the room opened up nicely for Nathaniel George.
It did. He just glides in, doesn't he? I can say last week, I like watching him play. So smooth on the ball, composure. He's hit it well, but not, like I say, it was straight down the keeper's throat, really.
Hunt's around the corner, but Nathaniel George wasn't expecting it. Hunt's going to get on his own ball, and he does. Then plays it to Pearce, and he's blasted over the bar into the penalty area. He should have scored. The goalkeeper's in no man's land, and Ollie Pearce has turned and just lobbed it over the bar. He knows it's a glorious chance. It's a 0-0 it remains. Big chance, and it was Alex Hunt played it into Nathaniel George. It didn't actually quite come off, but because the Ebbsfleet player thought it was going to, they didn't challenge the ball. Hunt almost played himself in, and then it's a lovely pass to Pearce. Pearce will be furious with himself. He's tried to almost lift it over the keeper, and he's lifted it over the bar. He could have had a touch as well, actually. Yeah, he could. Yeah, it was a real chance for Ollie Pearce. The City now starting to create. That's 3 decent chances that they've had in this game. Goalkeeper clear, scuffs his clearance, flicked further forward by one of the Ebbsfleet defenders, and City pick it up with Armstrong. He gives it to John in the left back position, and he goes back to Mail. Mail, edge of his penalty area. Now has it to Howe. Howe to the left hand side to John. Yeah, Hunt just plays it around the corner and got his own ball because it was meant for Nathaniel George.
He's
plays
bobbled.
it off to Pearce.
It's bobbled in front of Pearce.
Yeah.
In fairness.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's a gilt-edged chance missed.
But have a touch. You know,
he's in space, wasn't he? He had time, probably.
Yeah, it's easy from here, admittedly, but a little bit more composure on the ball. Have a touch, and because he was one-on-one with the keeper. But good stuff from City, particularly Alex Hunt there.
Batty. Nathaniel George turns away from his man, gives it back to Batty. City moving it from right to left. Howe once again to Batty. That's a lovely crossfield ball to Felix, who's onside this time. Doesn't reach him though. Good defending from Ebbsfleet. Ebbsfleet forced all the way back though to the edge of their own area. Armstrong putting pressure on Cosgrave, the striker, who's having to come back and help out his defence, and it rebounds off Marvin Armstrong and goes behind for an Ebbsfleet goal kick. 0-0 it remains.
He looks
20 minutes on the clock.
Sorry, David. He looks disappointed there, Marvin Armstrong. But I think he felt something could have come from that just by the sheer pressure they were putting on Ebbsfleet's defence. They've got to keep doing this, City, because this defence, like I said, without repeating myself too much, they've got a mistake in them. And City, if they keep pressing, they'll create opportunities.
Ebbsfleet man goes to ground at halfway looking for a foul. They're trying to win by free kicks here, and the referee's not giving him, which is good to see. Fagan Walcott to Felix. Back once more to Fagan Walcott. How now?
How now?
Fagan Walcott, Nathaniel George. He turns back and then starts on his bike across the centre line, across the left-hand side of the centre circle. Around the corner it goes first time from Sinclair. Pearce is flagged offside. Almost found him, goalkeeper. Again, decent starting position. Gathers at the end of his edge, at the edge of his area. But the flag did go up against Ollie Pearce. 0-0. It remains at the halfway point of this first half on BBC Radio York.
Yeah, solid, if not spectacular start from City, but certainly they've had the better of the play and the chance.
Coverland downfield, flicked on by Passley. Picked up over that far side by Cosgrave. Cosgrave still got the ball. Tries to send it forward. Intercepted though by York City, and Sinclair can come forward if Armstrong can keep it in play. Armstrong can't keep it in play, but he gives it straight back to an Ebbsfleet man. Moncur in the centre of the field once more now to Edser. Back now to the right hand side with Passley. Passley goes back to the centre back Olangunju. On this right hand side they continue to come forward. The Ebbsfleet. Now the cross comes into the York City box, edge of the area. Turned, shot on goal, goes high over the bar. It's the first opportunity for the home side, really. We've just afforded a little bit of space. The York City defence sat off Domi.
Rolling ball.
And now Harrison Mail has taken the goal kick with a moving ball, so it's going to be pulled all the way back, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, just a little, the slightest of chance there for Ebbsfleet. I think it was more that City just a little lack of concentration.
Adam Fisher giving out instructions. We can hear him bellowing out with his red cap on, black coat to our left hand side. Mail now clears down the centre of the field, straight to a red shirt. That's a poor clearance though from Ebbsfleet this time. Straight to Armstrong. He has to go back to Felix. Felix back to Fagan Walcott. Good distance between the two technical areas either side of halfway here. So our fourth official, Tolu Sangowawa, is having a quiet afternoon so far.
Yeah, it's usually, we were on about this earlier, weren't it? The fourth official gets so much grief during matches.
That's a nice ball from Batty to pick out Sinclair. Gets it out his feet, can come in field. Sinclair, 35 yards from goal, thinks about having the shot. Still got it. Gives it to Nathaniel George instead. Now to this right-hand side to Joe Felix. Felix fronts up his man, trying to take him down the line. Then comes in field into the penalty area. Nathaniel George, he's now trying to create a bit of space. Gives it to Hunt on the overlap. Cross comes into the box, flick forward to the back post, and there's no one there. And it goes out for a goal kick.
It was good play by City there.
It was almost a Joe Felix headed goal.
It was, yeah. He's the last person to touch the ball. But good movement from City, good work rate. Just trying to shift this Ebbsfleet defence around.
Tom Poole, City's photographer, sitting over there, away to our right hand side, alongside the Ramsgate Reds flag. Lancashire did really well, actually, to control that ball in his chest, play it down the line, hits the chest then of Felix, and it goes into touch right in front of us. 2 or 3 rows in front of us, and Dallison has a throw, and he's trying to steal a few yards here. Is Tom Dallison.
A few? 5 or 6, 7. He's by the time 10. He throws this, it's 10 yards.
Where's he going here?
Yeah, got away with it.
Yeah. Anyway, down the line it goes. The red shirts have it just outside the York City penalty area. City would have been unhappy to concede from this. They do get a tackle in, absolutely forced back to halfway. They're at the back with Olongunju once more. Ian's going to tell us all he knows about him in a second. Former Huddersfield Town man, cross into the York City box, no one there in a red shirt, and City are able to clear. Off you go, Ian. Mustafa Olongunju.
Oof, yeah, decent player. Big energy.
From centre back into the centre of the field.
Lovely first touch, reads the game well.
No, across
play for Huddersfield.
I don't think he'll play for the first team, but he was on their books. Left hand side the penalty area, the red shirts once more. He turns, and that's a nice little threaded ball through, but there's good covering there by Fagan Walcott. Goes into touch. That's a throw in on the edge of the York City penalty area for Ebbsfleet on this near side. Have they got a long throw in the locker? We're about to find out.
Fagan Walcott needed to be alive there, because Ebbsfleet cut City open a little bit.
I would suggest they don't have a long throw, because they've gone short to the edge of the box. Ebbsfleet man goes to ground again, trying to win a penalty in the box. Referee's not giving anything. He manages to get up and take his shot on, drags it well wide of this near post. That was a pretty poor effort, to be honest, to try and con the ref.
It was really weak, and the referee's not going to fall for it. And you wonder how many more of them before he gets his book out. He's trying to deceive the ref. It's basically cheating, isn't it?
Mail downfield, controlled on his chest by Sinclair. Nicks it off him though. Actually getting men back. Oh, he's hacked again at Sinclair. That should be a yellow card. Oh my word, Olongunju, I think he's going to get away with it. He's had a right hack at Tyree Sinclair there, right in front of us. The York City players are saying to the referee, Armstrong's come across, Batty, Felix, checking on Sinclair. That should be a yellow card. Yeah, that has to be a yellow card.
He just swiped Sinclair's leg away from him. I mean, look at the damage he's done to his socks.
I think we all know he cuts all those holes in his socks himself. The referee's not even having a word with him. Is he having a word? Oh, he is. Now he's pulling him across. Surely the yellow card's got to come out here.
I think there's a linesman maybe indicated to him this is a yellow, surely.
He's pulling him across now. Is he going to get his card out? It's just going to be a quiet word, you know, Ian.
Yeah, just
no, it's not. It is a yellow card.
Yeah.
Quite right. Yeah, quite right, referee.
What's that amongst people that are saying that's put? They saw the same thing as us. It's crazy. We are such
We're watching it now on the replay here.
Football fans.
It's an absolute hack. He's absolutely nowhere near the ball. That is one of the worst hacks I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, he just literally chopped him down.
And it's quite high as well.
People are doubting the referee.
Batty puts in the free kick at edge of the area. Pierce tries to lay it off. Ebbsfleet are able to clear. I don't think he was going to book him though. That's a nice nodding forward for Pierce. He puts a deep cross into the back post. It's too deep. York City have no one over that far side. It's put into touch for a City throw-in. Far side of the field, level with the edge of the penalty area. So that's 2 Ebbsfleet players that have gone into the book. Olongunju and Passley. Neither can have one complaint about it, even though they've tried.
No. It is amazing though, isn't it, when you can see the same thing as, you know, a group of people and you can have such differing views.
How? City have gone back to halfway from the throw-in. Batty. Now to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott to this right-hand side to Nathaniel George. Nathaniel George skips past Lancashire, but then turns. Now he's opened up a lovely bit of space. Nathaniel George plays it forward to Armstrong. Back to goal, edge of the penalty area. He gives it to Hunt. Right-hand side. Now to Felix. Felix in field to Nathaniel George. Joe Felix gets it back. Hunt. Felix continues his run into the box. Hunt goes back to Batty. Batty gives it back to Felix. A little flick around the corner to Hunt. Hunt now to Nathaniel George. This is good play from York City on this right hand side. Then Nathaniel George is caught late as well by Lancashire on this near side. It's not as bad, I don't think, as the Olongunju tackle, but Lancashire. Nathaniel George is getting up. He's coming across to have a word with the linesman as well as the referee.
A&G has dazzled Lancashire with his footwork and moved the ball, and the lads, I think he's gone to kick the ball, but he's kicked A&G full on in the shin.
He's making sure the wall's back 10 yards. He's not going to go into the book, or is he? No, I don't think
that could be more clumsy than dirty, to be honest. I think.
We'll get a replay of it in a second. So free kick, tight on this right-hand side touchline for Batty, level with the edge of the penalty area. Everyone loitering around the penalty spot. It's not going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, I think because it was more clumsy than...
There's the whistle. Batty puts in the free kick into the box, one in the centre of the penalty area by an Ebbsfleet man, and they've cleared their lines. Good defensive header that was. And now John has a push in the back here as Moncur tries to break forward, and that'll be a free kick to York City. The home fans feel as though they're not getting the decision, but he's not got anything wrong so far. He's spot on with them all. Just watching the... Oh, it's so late on Nathaniel George. That should be a yellow card. Sinclair.
Yeah, clumsy or not, it's a yellow card, isn't it?
So late. Yeah. The ball's gone way down the line when he tackles him. He's just dangled his foot over the top of the ball without touching it, hasn't he? And he's completely sucked in the defender, Nathaniel George. They give it away on the edge of the York penalty area to Ebbsfleet. Armstrong's back there helping out. Armstrong to John. John to Howe. Howe to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott at the back under pressure. Gives it back to Mayle. Mayle is under no pressure this time. Brings the ball to the edge of his penalty area, still looking, deciding what to do. Pearce has come forward, and then he's going to try and drop it in behind for Sinclair. Nodded away by Passley on the right-hand side, then picked up by Stewart. Stewart into midfield. Now, of course, this left-hand side defender's missed it, but he's going to get there before Nathaniel George. Gives it to Lancashire. Pearce has a little hip of the heels. Nothing given. He stays on his feet. The referee now does give the free kick. Again, right decision, but nothing more than... Where's his card? Shouts the gentleman to our left-hand side. What game's he watching?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's, you know, not every card's a yellow, but when you hack someone down, that is a yellow.
Coverland comes out to take the free kick. 0-0 it remains. 31 minutes gone here on BBC Radio York. City could do with the goal. They're on top, but the goalkeeper hasn't yet had to make a save. He comes out to take this free kick, and he sends it long downfield onto the head of Howe. He tries to find Pearce. Pearce flicks it on, but there's no one there apart from the big centre-back Stewart. Stewart down the right-hand side, trying to turn that York City defence, and he's kicked that all the way out of play for a goal kick. Bring you some more latest scores in the National League, if I can get them up on my phone. Just wait for those all to refresh. Goals: Barnet are 1-up on Solihull. Braintree still lead Forest Green by 1-0. Eastleigh 1-up on Aldershot. Altrincham still 1-up at Gateshead. Rochdale 1-up at Southend, and Wealdstone 1-up at Yeovil. All the other games are 0-0. Down the right hand side, Pearce can't get the better of his defender, and he does really well there, actually, the big centre back. But now they're giving it away in midfield. Batic on the slide, can't keep hold of the ball. Bolger comes forward for the home team, takes on the shot, hits the back of Callum Howe, does well to block that because that was travelling. Passley then nods it forward, and Howe ball is clear once more. Good defending from Howe. Really good defending, brave as well. The ball was motoring, I think. Might have caused Harrison Mayle some problems, but Callum Howe put his body on the line. Took the full force of it, took the sting out of it. To Batty. Gives it back to John. They're just sitting off here, allowing York City to have the ball at the back, as most teams now are tending to do, especially those in the lower reaches of the division. If we can call absolutely stone dead rock bottom as lower reaches. Wrong ball down line, looking for Pearce. Defender gets there first, falls to the corner flag, gives it back to his goalkeeper, who clears first time left footed. City are going to pick it up though with Felix. Falls kindly for Bolger. Bolger in the centre circle can lay it out to the right hand side to Passley, who's going forward. He lays it down the line to Cosgrave. Comes back in field. Hunt wins it back though for City, and he finds Armstrong. Arm on the shoulder. Armstrong goes to ground. The referee doesn't give it. Did look like a foul, but now they've given it away of the home team, and Nathaniel George has the ball. Nathaniel George to Felix. Felix on halfway, just slows it down, gives it to Hunt. Hunt sends it out to the left hand side to Sinclair. Doesn't reach him. Nodded into touch though for a York City throw-in halfway inside the Ebbsfleet half. 0-0 here on BBC Radio York. Hunt from the throw-in from John. He comes in field and gives it to Batty. Batty to this right hand side, cuts out Felix to Nathaniel George. Nathaniel George, edge of the penalty area, lays it into the box to Pearce. Pearce back to goal, gives it back to Felix on the right. Felix to the byline, tries to get the cross, and it's blocked. York City throw-in. Yeah, good play from Nathaniel George into Pearce's feet inside that 18-yard box, but then City meet that red wall.
They've got to work a way out of getting in and around them.
Throw in taken to Nathaniel George. Back it goes to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott to Felix. Felix's first touch wasn't the greatest. Falls to Batty, and that's just a big lofted ball into the centre. Sinclair beaten to that by Passley, and it's picked up by Moncur. Tackle's going to come in from Batty. Batty wins the ball, but Moncur still is able to come forward down the right-hand side. He lays it off to Cosgrave. Cosgrave has to turn one way, then the other. Still got the ball over that far side, the former Halifax man. He's under pressure from John, and he's forced back to halfway, and he's done well to win the free kick. It was a free kick. John doesn't think it was, but I think on this occasion, the referee again has got it right, and that's a free kick to the home team.
Yeah, Cam John just getting frustrated that he couldn't win the ball there and ends up going through the back of Cosgrave. Definite free kick, and something for City to defend. It's very quiet, isn't it, the ground?
It's not really surprising, is it? When you look at the performances and the results this season. He's trying to steal a few yards here, is Moncur. The referee's telling him to take it back, and now he's right in his face to show him his whistle. Do not dare take this free kick until I blow my whistle. Who's the referee wanting to have a word with here? Another Ebbsfleet player who he's not happy with. He said, I'm in charge. And he's pointing to different areas of the pitch. He finishes having a chat. That's the Ebbsfleet captain he's talking to. Sent forward from the free kick into the York City penalty area. One with the header, Ebbsfleet, and they get the knockdown. There's a bit of a scramble, and City just about get it clear. They won 2 consecutive balls there, did Ebbsfleet, and City are fortunate that Harrison Mill wasn't called into action.
City don't want to be giving this team too much encouragement.
Bolger on halfway. 0-0 it remains. Back it goes once more to the goalkeeper, Kovalan. He sends it down the right-hand side this time. Over the head, though, of Passley. John knew it was going into touch for a York City throw-in. He allows it to go out of play. And that will be a throw-in in front of the masses, the hundreds of York City supporters. Some of whom will be making their second journey down on Tuesday to go to Barnet. Quite a few staying down in the capital between the 2 games, with it being half-term. City have a throw-in. 15 yards away from the corner flag, deep in their half of the field. John, down the line, over the head of Sinclair, flicked on and sent forward by Pearce. There's no one there apart from the red-shirted centre-back. He goes well to get away from Nathaniel George, but then under pressure just says, I'm making a bit of a mess of this. I'm going to put it into touch for a York City throw-in and let everyone else get back. Safety first from the home team. Howe, as the rain starts to fall in front of us, light drizzle here at Stonebridge Road on the North Kent coast. Goal for Scunthorpe. They lead Scarborough Athletic by 1-0 in National North. Nathaniel George now comes forward inside right for York City. Felix outside of him. He gives it now to the former Worthing man. Back it goes to Nathaniel George, and that goes behind for a York City corner. Their first corner kick of the game, Ian Dunn.
Yeah, good football again. A&G and Joe Felix linking up really well down this right-hand side, winning the corner. And my guess was this will be hit onto Howe's head.
I thought so.
And whoever wins the second ball,
well, that'll be the aim anyway.
That'll be the aim, yeah.
Sabatti comes across to take it. I'm still getting kicked by our friendly gentleman behind. I think he's shivering and trying to just move his feet to keep his toes going.
I've just seen his foot is shaking a lot, so he's obviously cold.
Batty, and it comes now. Deep one. Free header around the back post. Sinclair, and he's put it to the side netting. Should have gone across goal. He's never going to score from there. Completely free. He saw it all the way, and he's gone for the near post and put it into the side netting.
It's a great corner, and the Ebbsfleet defenders were totally bamboozled. They followed all of the York City players except for the one at the back stick, which was Tyree Sinclair, and that header again,
after he won the header last week.
Yeah, maybe try to do the same thing. It come off at a bad angle, but yeah, I think I'm with you, David. Try and head it back across the face and see what happens.
Kovalan gets ready to take the goal kick. It stays 0-0 with 6 minutes to go until half time. Onto the head of Howe. He sends it forward. Ebbsfleet once more clear their lines. Fagan Walcott. 2 York players go for the same ball, but they do manage to get it clear. And then Ebbsfleet have it on the right-hand side. In midfield, it comes to Edser. Edser, I'm not sure what he's tried there, but that's gone all the way through to Harrison Mail from halfway. 0-0. Still not really had the goalkeeper make a save, though, have they here, City?
No, we've had a lot of play, a lot of possession, a lot of stuff outside the box, but not really tested the keeper at all.
Mail to Pearce. Pearce gives it to Fagan Walcott. And again, it goes back to Harrison Mail.
I think Nathaniel George hit him straight down his throat, but
that's
other than
true.
that...
That is true, yeah. Into the centre circle. Batty beat into that in the air. Howes to go back towards his own goal and gives it once more back to Harrison Mail, who's currently in line for his 13th clean sheet of the season. 13 clean sheets it would be in 28 appearances. Almost a 50% clean sheet record, which you have to say superb.
Yeah, it's great. It's another great signing. It's amongst many last summer.
Of course, as soon as they give him a bit of praise, he tries to play it out. He gives it straight to a Ebbsfleet man, but City have won it back. Sinclair trying to get away from his own. There's a little push in the back. Free kick to York. Again, they don't like it, the home team, but it's the right decision. Nothing more. It's a free kick. Referee doesn't have to have a word with him. It's not a yellow card. Don't know why they're complaining around us. Edser was penalised. Free kick taken to Armstrong. Armstrong to Batty. Batty now to Fagan Walcott on halfway. To Nathaniel George. Comes in field. Tries to get past his man. Good defending by Lancashire. And he plays it off to Moncur in the centre circle. Moncur sends it out to the right-hand side to Passley. He's got a bit of room to work in for the first time as Passley. But he's sort of run out to the wing instead of coming in field there, which is a little bit strange. And Cam Johns tracked him. And he's won his side a throw-in. In fact, he's won his side a corner kick. Ebbsfleet suddenly have their first corner kick of the game.
Yeah, that was a strange bit of play by Passley there, because you're right.
He didn't want to go into the penalty area and he didn't want to put a cross in. But he's managed to win a corner, so he's got some sort of result from it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, he could have ran towards the goal into the space that was there. Instead, he took it up by going out wide.
He went the long way around.
Yeah.
But if they score from the corner...
Well, yeah.
I'll say it was all worthwhile. So City have got a bit of defending to do. Referee's having a word here because there's some pushing going on in that York City penalty area. Who's he having a word with? He's having a word with Harrison Mail.
Interesting. The Ebbsfleet
Harrison
players
Mail and Toby Edser who's trying to stand right in front of him.
He's actually blocking him.
And it comes now into the centre of the goal. Oh, it's allowed to bounce. It's still not cleared by York City. Still not cleared. Still not clear. They still have it on this left-hand side to Ebbsfleet. They've been forced out the penalty area now, but they're going to get a cross in. In fact, they've won a second corner kick. Allowed to bounce, and then there's a bit of a scramble. Could have gone anywhere.
I think that from that corner that Harrison Mail is being obstructed. He's being pinned into his goal by the attacking player. The referee's got to see that.
We need a new ball because that's deflected into the York City supporters behind the goal. They're not giving it back. The steward goes and gets it off one of them. Throws it to Ollie Pearce, who's keen to get the game back underway. I don't know why the Yorks... They did this at a home game in the South Stand, didn't they, last week? With City needing a goal, and they kept hold of the ball. Corner kick from this near side, and they've gone short. Moncur gets it back, now puts the cross in. Shot comes in, it's going to come back out to Edser on this left-hand side. Has that gone out of play? It has. That'll be a goal kick. Again, no, that was a little bit dicey from City. They fell asleep at the back post there from the corner. No, there's nothing wrong with that. He wasn't actually blocked in this time, was he? Harrison Mail. And the City have gone too early again. The referee said the ball was moving. Come on, Harrison. Twice is being picked up for that. The referee's on it.
I'm guessing where Harrison Mail's coming from here. He wants the momentum of the game to start to flow a little bit quicker. It's all a little bit stop-start for City. And credit to the opposition for that. They're making it awkward for City.
Mail now clears after getting it back off Howe. Onto the head of a Ebbsfleet defender. Going to come into touch on this near side for a throw-in to the home team. Taken immediately down the line. And they're going to win the second throw-in. Defensive third, Adam Hinchwood, frustrated, just comes and punches the top of that away dugout. Look at him, who's he unhappy with?
I think in general, I'm feeling it as well. It feels like frustration is setting in here, yeah. And it's the opposition. What we said at the start,
we didn't want to happen. The crowd in front of us to get up and head for the T-bar, so we have to stand up as well to be able to see what's happening. By the corner flag, absolutely have it. Cross comes into the York City box now, flicks off the head of Callum Howe. Out of the penalty area it goes, picked up by Passley. There's a little shove in the back of him, not given by the referee. Passley again trying to win a free kick. He's on a yellow card. I thought it was, though, to be fair, watching it first time. And then Sinclair's taken down the centre circle. The referee's not going to give that either, because he didn't give the other one. The red shirts come away with it. I think he realised he made a bit of an error.
Yeah.
So then he made a second one to compound it. One each. Passley, right hand side, tries to get the cross in, it goes behind. That'll be another corner kick to Ebbsfleet. A bit of pressure here for City to try and see out as we head towards the break in the final 60 seconds, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it feels like the team needs to get in at half time, and Adam Hinchwood needs to G them up, get them going, convince them that it's not been a bad performance by any stretch, but it's not been enough to really, if you come off this pitch at 0-0, it's probably a fair reflection of the first half.
Corner kick then, far side. Moncur. In it comes now into the penalty area. They've won the header and it's gone to the back of the net. Ebbsfleet have the lead. It's Passley, free header. City are appealing for a free kick. Ollie Pearce is going across the far side. 1 minute goes up on the board. Nothing's going to be given. Passley has scored, and that means that the home team, they lead this National League game. The shock is on. Ebbsfleet 1, York City 0.
We said before the game.
Now
David,
the referee's going across the official. What does Ollie Pearce seen? What has Ollie Pearce seen? The referee's talking to the official. Is the goal going to be disallowed? Let's have a look. He's gone earlier on the public address. The referee has gone across to the linesman. Ollie Pearce has made his views felt. So too has Harrison Mail and Callum Howe. They've seen something we haven't. What is the referee going to do? Offside, no goal! Wow. The goal's disallowed. Woo. It's not given. It remains 0-0. We will watch the replay and let you know if the referee's got it right. So the corner kick on the right-hand side. What happens here? It comes in now. And he's got it spot on. This is an Ebbsfleet player right in front of Harrison Mail in an offside position, blocking him from coming to the ball. The referee's got it spot on. Well played, linesman. It remains 0-0.
Yeah, and I think I called it 5-6 minutes ago, David. Their striker is standing right in front of Harrison Mail.
Just been told to flip off back to York by the unhelpful tubby gentleman to my right-hand side.
Not to worry. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it on TV. That their player is pinning Mail in. Yeah. He's stayed in that offside position.
They've got it right.
It's offside.
They've got it right. Ebbsfleet come forward. It is a let-off, though, for York City.
It is, and it's a reminder that nothing is easy in this league.
Down that right-hand side, they come forward, put into touch for a throw-in. Only 1 minute went up. In fact, it's been given as another corner. But we must have played the 1 minute now, I would have thought. But they're going to get an opportunity.
And again, it'll be interesting to see what the forward does this time, because he's definitely pinning Mail back. He's trying to push him into. He's being cute with it, but he's been caught out there because he's ended up being offside, and it caused a problem for Ebbsfleet there.
Moncur, far side of the ground, gets ready to put in the corner. Going to get a move on here. Why the referee's allowing this still to go? Moncur puts it in now into the centre. There's a man down the floor. Free kick to York City. That will be half time. In a second, there's boos coming from some of the Ebbsfleet supporters. I have to say, the officials so far have had an excellent game, Ian Dunn. That is half-time, 0-0 at half-time. Goal disallowed right on the break, correctly. There is an Ebbsfleet man standing in front of Harrison Mail. He doesn't get a touch, but I think he is in an offside position, and if that's the case, he's got it spot on as the referee, Ian Dunn. 0-0.
Yeah, he has. And City, getting away with it slightly, but we did call it. Their striker was sitting on Mail, and he didn't get himself out into an onside position. And I was just saying before that goal went in, I think if you went in at 0-0, it's probably a fair reflection of the game, which isn't enough for City. City have been the better of the two sides without really looking like scoring. So they need to up the game in the second half, which I'm sure they can.
They're not happy, the Ebbsfleet fans just to our right-hand side here, but they don't have the view with the replay that we do. At half-time here at Stonebridge Road, Pete, it's Ebbsfleet 0, York City 0.
Thank you very much, David Ward there. So goalless between Ebbsfleet United and York City. They're still playing between Scunthorpe United and Scarborough Athletic. So let's bring you a bit of bonus commentary at the end of the first half. Here are your commentators, James Fletcher and Neil Redfern.
To decide which way they want the ball to go. Maltby has the ball on halfway. Thank you to Peter for connecting us with York City and Ebbsfleet as Colville comes forward. It's now with Waldron, right hand side. Waldron now trying to stand up across. It's a good block from Denton, and it's a corner kick here with 2 minutes of the stoppage time to go.
Yeah, really good play by Waldron. Supported well, got down that right hand side and won his side of corner. You know, they've had really good moments in this half. Scarborough, they've just got to try and cash in on one of them, you know, because I think as this game goes on, it's going to get stretched. Pitch is cutting up. It's a pitch that's going to tire legs, I would have thought, because it's quite heavy. They've got to try and stay in it as long as they can, Scarborough. I think there's something in it for them, without a shadow of a doubt.
Let's see what they can do from this. Colville has the ball on the quadrant over on the far side. Lots of movement. 6 in goal. Angle towards Fitzsimmons' goal line. He's had to punch it behind. And another corner then for Scarborough Athletic, who have gone hammer and tong with Scunthorpe United. For those joining us on FM, a very good afternoon to you. It's Scunthorpe United 1, Scarborough Athletic 0 at present. Up goes that arm again from Colville. A better delivery, angle towards the back post. Boyce's header up into the air, comes to the 18-yard line. Perver heads it back in. Willedge, Tia trying to get a touch. It's then angled over the head by Tyler Denton, but there goes the half-time whistle. So it has been hammer and tong, Neil Redfern, in this first half, but one switch off from a set play, a direct corner, Callum Roberts swinging it in, is the difference between these two sides.
Yeah, that's where the frustration will lie. They played well here, Scarborough. They've given as good as they've got. They lack a little bit of quality in the final third, but they've matched them, Scunthorpe, stride for stride, and the goal's a disappointment because it's a ball whipped in at the near post. You've got to make sure you block that near post out. Two players on the post, you've got to have somebody in the hole. There's nobody there whatsoever. I think Big Coogan could have put that in. He come across it. It's a flat ball in. I think he's got no chance really, Ryan Whitley, but I just think it's the setup from the set play that's done him.
Well, we will dissect at half-time, because at half-time it is Scunthorpe United 1, Scarborough Athletic 0.
Georgie Spanswick at breakfast.
We're talking this morning about how long it takes to boil an egg. Well, I'm thinking 4 to 5 minutes, but the Italian boffins, or should I say eggheads, say the perfect boiled egg takes 32 minutes. You alternate the egg between a pan of boiling water with a bowl of water kept at 30 Celsius. Let's talk to Sue in the school kitchen at Orne Primary.
It's ludicrous. if you boiled an egg for that long and you threw it at somebody, you'd kill them. It would be like throwing a boulder at them.
Georgie Spanswick.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio York. BBC Radio York Sport.
BBC Radio York Sport, Pete Spencer taking you through the half-time. So we've got second half commentary to come of York City away at Ebbsfleet United, currently goalless with David Ward and Ian Dunn, although Ebbsfleet did have a goal disallowed for offside. It's Scunthorpe United 1, Scarborough Athletic 0 at Glanford Park, as we've just been hearing with James Fletcher and Neil Redfern. Half-time also at the Exercise Stadium. Let's get a half-time report there from Tim Steer between Harrogate Town and Swindon Town. How's it going, Tim?
Well, the half-time score is 0-0, and to be honest, based on the first half performance for Harrogate Town, that's probably the biggest thing to come out of it, really. Swindon Town, you can tell, they're a team full of confidence at the moment, in incredible form in League Two, and they've had just under 70% of the possession. The way they've been passing the ball around with intent, with control of the game, has seen Harrogate Town really struggle to get anything out of the first half at all. 8 shots on goal from the visitors, only 1 on target though, a lot of shots being deflected wide. Not much for James Belshaw to do in that regard, but if anyone is looking like they're more likely to score, it's going to be Swindon Town, the way they've been performing. Although there was one bit of drama for Harrogate Town right on the half-time whistle, as Josh March was brought down in the area by the goalkeeper Connor Ripley as he played it by him. The referee gave a penalty. It would have been the first penalty of the season for Harrogate Town, but the Swindon Town players were screaming, saying the assistant referee didn't give it, go and have a word with him. The referee did go to have a word with his assistant, and it was the assistant that said that Connor Ripley actually got a hand on the ball before taking down Josh March, so it wouldn't be a penalty. And having watched it back on the replays here at the Exercise Stadium, that is actually the correct call. Connor Ripley did get a touch to the ball, so I suppose you have to give credit to the officials that they did come to the right decision in the end. But for Harrogate Town, with that being on 45 minutes, if there had been a penalty and they'd scored, it would have been a smash and grab, but it would have been a real positive end to the first half. As it was, the Town players coming off at half-time being booed by their own fans, because overall they've been distinctly second best in this game. But it is 0-0, and that's the big thing. Time to regroup and time to change things up at half-time, you would imagine, for Simon Weaver. Half-time score, Harrogate Town 0, Swindon Town 0.
Okay, thank you there to Tim Steer and Paul Bolland there at the Exercise Stadium. Let's run you through some of the other half-time scores locally. In the Northern Counties East Football League Premier Division, it's Tadcaster Albion 1, Rossington Main 0. Taddy with a goal just before the half-time whistle there. It's goalless between Knaresborough Town and Silston, and Thackley 0, Pickering Town 1. George Brown with the goal for the Pikes in that one. In Division 1, it's Clubthorne Colliery 2, Harrogate Railway 1, and goalless between Selby Town and Wombwell Town. We'll go through some more scores from elsewhere in a moment, but first let's look ahead to tomorrow's Rugby League action, because the York Knights get their championship season underway away at Oldham, and Knights head coach Mark Applegarth says they have a squad capable of winning honours this season, but he says they're expecting a tough start to the season against Oldham, managed by Sean Long.
I think they're a really dangerous team, if I'm honest with you. I think they've recruited great. Obviously, they've got Matty Ashurst and Elijah Taylor in them back rows, and then, I know Phoenix has just signed there now, so they've got a bit of a dilemma. Do they go Phoenix at fullback, and then do they go Drinkwater and Riley Dean, or do they go Craven in there too? So I think they've got strike throughout the park. They've signed really well. Adam Milner's signed, who can offer a lot of ball play through that middle. They've got Dodson, the twins are there, Matty Wildy's at nice. So we're very well. I even spoke about their edges there. So we know there's some play there, but I know what Long is about too. He's all about that effort-based stuff, so we're expecting a very tough 80 minutes. We've had a look at them and where we feel we can expose them. They'll have watched us against Hull KR and probably seen, I know they'll have seen some areas that they feel they can expose us. So, I think it's got all the makings for a real high-end quality championship game, because I think Oldham will be right up there in the mix. I think they're well coached. They've got some really good players, and it's definitely a game we're looking forward to and one we relish in.
And plenty of investment as well. Mike Ford's come in there, and you would imagine that he's an ambitious man. He wants the best for that club, and a club that historically haven't really got to the areas in the Super League where they've been kind of striving for. Historically, a very well supported club as well. Being an ambitious club, similar sort of in that respect to York, in that they have ambitions to go beyond where they are at the moment. Yeah,
I think how Oldham set about their ambition last year, and how they've put a strategic plan together is really, really good for the game. And I think Mike's obviously got a vision and is executing that. And now, Oldham's a proud rugby league town with a rich heritage in it, and a lot of quality players have come from there. So it's pleasing to see. I think they're very similar in a parallel to us in where we want to go. Listen, I think the whole organisation's had a bit of a refit, hasn't it? And I think with Longy at the helm, they're going to be a very well coached team. We're expecting a very tough battle, and as I said, we'll prepare well for it, and we'll back ourselves, and we're expecting a very tough game.
I guess always at this time of year, conditions play a part. A boundary park, you know that it can get cold up there as well, and be referred to as Ice Station Zebra at points. But is that an additional kind of factor to this game?
I suppose if you're watching it, it can be a bit cold, but it's literally same for both teams. It'll be 17 players versus 17 players. So, we'll be aware of the weather if needed. For example, if it's due to be forecasting gales or torrential rain, things like that, obviously you factor that in. But apart from that, you expect it at this time of year. You can't play rugby league in England in these winter months and expect anything other than a cold, wet day, really, can you?
No. Speaking to the chairman this week, he says he'll be disappointed if the Knights don't win it. Obviously, that's just the high standards that he's got, and he expects from this club. Do you kind of share his view?
Yeah, I think everyone's in it. I've never set out at the start of a league campaign. You know what sort of squad you've got. I think we've got a squad that can be competing for it for sure. We won't hide away from the fact we want to be up there in the mix, and we think we've got a squad, if we can keep it fit and capable, that's capable of winning honours for sure. And I'm sure there's another 7 or 8 teams that are going to be saying exactly the same thing. But we're not too worried about the outcome in terms of the end of the season yet. It's really important we just focus on the start of the season. I think traditionally over the last couple of years we haven't had a great start. It's something that we spoke about as a playing group and a coaching group. How can we address it? So we'll be looking at that, and then As I said, not getting too ahead of herself either way, just taking it week by week and trying to get a certain level of consistency with his own performance. And I think if you do that, the rest takes care of itself, doesn't it?
That's the York Knights head coach Mark Applegarth speaking to me in the week. You can listen to live commentary of Oldham against York Knights on BBC Radio York tomorrow with Andy Atkinson and Mark Sparky Barlow. We're on air from 2 on Sunday with all the build-up with Andy Atkinson and kick-off at 3 o'clock. Well, we're just approaching 4 o'clock. Let's get a check on the roads. Where in York there are queues on the York Outer Ring Road at the Haxby Road roundabout. There are also queues on the A64 between York and Flaxton. In Harrogate it's slow on Wetherby Road between the Kestrel roundabout and the Woodlands pub traffic lights. And in Harrogate it's also slow on Wetherby Road and Skipton Road around the Empress roundabout. On public transport, buses are running instead of trains on cross-country Transpennine and London North Eastern Railway between York and Newcastle because of engineering works. That's your travel news for North Yorkshire. Don't forget, if you see a problem on the roads and it's safe and legal, you can let us know about it by calling 0800 111 48 49.
BBC Radio York Sport.
Right, we'll reconnect you with second half commentary in all of our 3 featured games this afternoon very shortly, but let's bring you some scores from elsewhere around the various leagues elsewhere this afternoon. And we start in the Premier League, where in today's early kickoff, Arsenal closed to within 4 points of the league leaders Liverpool, with 2 late goals giving them a 2-0 win away at struggling Leicester City. Elsewhere at half-time, it's Aston Villa 0, Ipswich Town 0, Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester City 3, Newcastle 0, Southampton 0, AFC Bournemouth 2, West Ham 0 and Brentford 1. Into the Championship, the 2 or 3 early kickoffs in that one. Cardiff City 1, Bristol City 1 in the derby there, the 7-side derby in that one. Portsmouth extended their 12-match winless run away from home by beating Oxford United 2-0. The match there was stopped for more than 30 minutes, incidentally, because of a medical emergency in the crowd. We wish all our best to all involved in that one. And Preston North End played out a goalless draw with Burnley. So these are now half-time scores in the Championship. Blackburn Rovers 0, Plymouth Argyle 0, Hull City 1, Norwich City 0, Luton Town 0, Sheffield United 0, Middlesbrough 0, Watford 1, Millwall 1, West Bromwich Albion 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Coventry City 1 and Stoke City 0, Swansea City 0. So into League One, Exeter City, off the back of their FA Cup defeat in the week, recorded their first League One win since Boxing Day with a 1-0 win away at Cambridge United, while Wrexham kept up the pressure on the League One leaders Birmingham and second place Wycombe with a comfortable 2-0 win at Northampton Town. Let's bring you the half-time scores in League One, where it's Barnsley 1, Huddersfield Town 0, Birmingham City 1, Charlton Athletic 0, Blackpool 1, Mansfield Town 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Burton Albion 0, Crawley Town 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Leyton Orient 2, Lincoln City 1, Reading 1, Rotherham 0, Shrewsbury Town 1, Bolton 0, Stevenage 0, Peterborough 0 and Wigan 0, Stockport County 0. I think they're back ready to split our frequencies once again here on BBC Radio York. So if you want to hear Harrogate Town against Swindon Town, then you've got Tim Steer and Paul Bolland on DAB Digital Radio. York City away at Ebbsfleet for David Ward and Ian Dunn is on FM and BBC Sounds. And Scarborough Athletic away at Scunthorpe United. You can join James Fletcher and Neil Redfern online via the BBC Sport website and app. So that link is available on the BBC Radio York Sport Twitter page. So it's time to split our frequencies. It's Make Your Mind Up time.
BBC Radio York Sport.
Thank you, Pete. The two sides just making their way back out onto the pitch here in dribs and drabs at the Cufflink Stadium. The referee is there, though, waiting for them. So as soon as we get the substitutes off, we'll be almost ready to go. 0-0 it remains between Ebbsfleet United and York City. They've conceded 67 goals this season of Ebbsfleet, but in the last 1.5 matches, that's 3 halves of football, they haven't conceded any. The home team, I think they would take a point, but they were slightly unfortunate, even if it was disallowed correctly, to have that goal disallowed before the break, because how often do you see the linesman and the referee working in partnership like that, Ian Dunn? Not very often, I would suggest. York City then kicking from right to left. The referee blows his whistle. Ebbsfleet from left to right towards their home fans, be sitting the small seated stand behind the goal with the Fleet in big letters on the seats. on the wall behind the seats as Hunt puts that straight into touch the far side, and that'll be a throw-in to the home team. Let me quickly run through the two sides then. City, Mail, John Howe, Fagan Walcott, Felix, Hunt, Batty, Sinclair, Armstrong, Nathaniel George and Pearce. The home team, Covalan, Stewart, Olangunju, Dallison, Lancashire, Passley, Bolger, Edser, Domi, Moncur and Cosgrave. It's Ebbsfleet that are on the front foot at the start of this half. Passley, who picked up a yellow card in the first half, so too did Olangunju. The referee has actually had a decent game here this afternoon with virtually all his decisions, and then York City win a throw-in tight against their corner flag on this near side. 0-0. Ian Dunn, what we're going to make of this second half?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Adam will have spoken to them at half-time, and Gary Elphick and Cam, they'll want more from the team.
That's
clearly
gone behind for a corner. City have taken the throw-in, and they made an absolute Horlicks of it, and it's gone straight out of play by the corner flag for an Ebbsfleet corner. Their fifth corner of this game. They had 4 in quick succession towards the back end of the half. That's where the goal that was disallowed came from, and they've won another one right at the start of this half. City have just had the one corner kick. Moncur, outswinger to the near post. Callum Howe heads clear unchallenged. Forced back to halfway. It wasn't a great pass. I think Bolger was trying to make it back to his goalkeeper actually, and the defender who was in the centre circle tried to intercept it on the volley. Could have gone horribly wrong for the home team, but they've got away with it. Batty now lays it out down this left-hand side for Sinclair. Can control the bouncing ball. Can push in the back. No, the referee says nothing as he goes to ground, and it goes through to Covalan, who's had not too much to do on his debut here after being signed on an emergency loan because their regular number one, Mark Cousins, has suffered a concussion.
And I think that'll be the half-time chat. They'll want more momentum. They'll want a little bit more oomph. And let's test this keeper. We've not tested him enough. So, yep, I'd imagine that. They
put that straight into touch. Now it's Batty now puts it into touch on halfway on this near. So you're talking to a couple of Ebbsfleet fans at half-time. They said this lot were there for the taking.
Well, yeah, we're not. We were the better slightly of the two sides without really looking like scoring. But, yeah, I think 0-0 is a fairish reflection of the game. City have got to lift it. We're the team that are up there. We're expected to lift it, so hopefully in the second half they do so and start creating a few some better chances.
Well, again, they've got some defending to do here as the ball goes into touch for a throw-in, cleared by Howe. Passley gets ready to take 10 yards away from the corner flag. He goes back to Stewart.
We're not getting close enough.
They're not. There's no one trying to close him down here, Stewart. He goes infield, then it's round the corner to Moncur. He gives it back to Passley, goes for the return ball. That's going to go out of play for yet another corner kick.
Yeah, I mean, when Stewart fronted up there, literally no City player was within 6-7 yards of him. Almost to the point where Stewart didn't know what to do because there was no pressing.
Yeah, it's no good just turning up at places like Oldham and possibly on Tuesday at Barnet if you go and lose at Boston, and really struggling here at Ebbsfleet. In it comes now into the penalty area. Wonder-headed at Stewart. It falls kindly into the arms of Harrison Mail. He was under pressure from Fagan Walcott. But again, bit of a let-off for City. Mail clears downfield looking for Sinclair. Mud all over his back. So too's Marvin Armstrong. That's taken out his Armstrong. That's going to be a yellow card for the centre-back Stewart now.
Yeah, I mean, some of the challenges have been rash, to say the least.
Agricultural.
Really. Agricultural.
That's 3 yellows. Yes. For the home team.
All clear as well, clear kicks on the
cannot. I know they have been arguing about them, the fans, but you cannot argue.
No.
He's having a good game as the ref.
Yeah, he's got most of the decisions right.
Batty. Centre of the field, sent it out to the right hand side, looking for Fagan Walcott. He's beaten that in the air though, and it falls nicely for the red shirts to clear long downfield. Felix running back towards his own goal, and he's beaten to it by Cosgrave. Near the corner flag, left hand side, has to hold it up, wait for some help, but Joe Felix, he might lose out once but not twice. He wins that tackle and then puts it back, but gives it straight back to a red shirt, and he tackles again, does Felix, to win the ball back. The red shirts have it with Moncur, centre of the field. Now it's Edser around the corner. Felix clears once more. Up to halfway. Pearce not given much of a chance there. Dallison, the only one of the 3 defenders that hasn't been yellow carded so far, plays it infield to Olangunju. Now down this right hand side for Passley. He goes to ground, clipped by John. They want a yellow card for Cameron John. I think it's completely accidental. And he's not going to give a yellow card. Ebbsfleet man has gone across the ref to say what's the difference, but there's not much at all in that.
No.
It was a free kick again and no more.
He's caught him slightly. It's a foul. It's not a yellow card.
Yeah.
It's not a rash kick of the player. clipped him, if nothing.
It's exactly, it's
him,
nothing
really.
like exactly the same as the gentleman to our left-hand side is trying to suggest. Need a bit more. I don't know. The colours have been mixing in the Ebbsfleet washing machines here, because we can clearly see in front of us George Moncoeur with his name across his shirt. It's gone pink. It's supposed to be white lettering. Fagan Walcott wins that header for City at the back post. Yeah, the colour's been running in that Ebbsfleet shirt. It's got even murkier, it seems, as well at the start of this second half. The rain, I think, has just about stopped as City give away possession again. The tactics board's out already down there in that York City dugout. They're getting ready to make changes.
Yeah.
He's seen enough, as Adam Hinchell would.
Yeah, it needs a spark of some sort from
Nathaniel
somewhere.
George. Fagan Walcott to Armstrong. He turns well. Now he can come forward over halfway. Arm on the shoulder. Keeps it upright, though, does Armstrong. Gives it to John. He's got Sinclair outside of him on this left wing. Somewhat Alan Dale is well used to. Takes on the shot to Sinclair. Oh, good save. Decent save. You'd expect him to make it from 30 yards, diving away to his right-hand side. The ball was slightly moving as Ian waves his hands around in front of me, and it goes out for a throw in this near side. And here comes changes for York City. Double change. John Lewis and Stones coming on.
What does that suggest? Two strikers up top?
Well, we're about to find out.
Interesting.
It's Nathaniel George who goes off first.
Interesting. Because you always thought it'd be Pearce and Stones possibly up front. There's a potential for today. But it looks like Armstrong, he's running over as well, you know. Wonder if Pearce drops deep.
Just how? Is it Callum Howe? No, Callum Howe just come across to give the captain's armband to Lionel John Lewis. So it's Armstrong and Nathaniel George that come off.
Right, so Pearce will drop in behind Stones, maybe? Or John Lewis drop. This is very interesting from
York. It's also the longest that John Lewis will have played this season, this.
Wow.
He's never come on with, 38 minutes to go. Trying to add to his 5 goals, but he's not scored in a good few months now.
It does feel like it needs something different, doesn't it?
John gets away from his man this near side, trying to win a corner kick. Gets the cross in as he gone to the side netting, and it does go behind for a corner kick to York City. Just their second of the game, their first of this second half. Can it bring immediate dividends? The double change.
Well, John Lewis doesn't need long to score goals. He's scored a few late ones this season, so with a bit more minutes on the clock, good chances, hopefully.
Batty raises his right arm.
They're all getting magnetised. Going to
be an in-swinger
here.
And it comes now into the centre, straight to the arms of the goalkeeper, who can jump unopposed. And then as he tries to burst forward, he goes to ground, trying to get a York City player booked for blocking him off. Not happened. The Ebbsfleet players are all going to the referee to say, you saw him blocked, and the goalkeeper's going to make the most of this, and he's staying down.
Well, this is the problem. They're going to try and frustrate City even further than they already have done.
Goal for Harrogate Town, I'm hearing, on DAV. Jasper Moon with that goal. They lead Swindon by a goal to 0. Scour Athletic, as far as I'm aware, still a goal down at Scunthorpe. The link to that is on our X feed at BBC York Sport. Nothing happening from the referee there. He's back up to his feet. Another bit of terrible play acting from Coverland. Down this right-hand side it comes. Hunt hits it over his shoulder to John Lewis, control on his chest. Back to goal, but is robbed of the ball. He wins it back, though, for York City, and it's John Lewis. Gives it to Stones. Bit of good work from him, but he can't find Felix as he comes forward. And the Red Shirts have it once more in their own penalty area. Cleared by Coverland, straight into touch, far side of the ground. To ironic cheers from the York City supporters. Oh, Ryan Brooks has found a spot over there in the crowd on the far side in the second half, just over halfway. Can you see Ian with his hat on?
Oh yes, yeah, bless him.
He was in with the fans earlier on, was Ryan Brooks.
Yeah, he's found his own little part of the stadium. Good lad.
Batty to the right hand side to Felix. York City still got everyone forward in the penalty area. Felix comes in field. Felix into the penalty area for Pearce on the angle. Curls it across goal. Good save by the goalkeeper. Just didn't fall to a white shirt. That's the best chance that York City have had, I think, in this game.
Yeah,
the goalkeeper did well to get down to it, and it fell kindly to them. And Moncoeur puts it into touch. Fire a throw in. Adam Hinchell clapping his hands together. Thumbs up as well from Gary Elphick. That was a little bit better from the Minster men.
Yeah, much better. And Joe Felix integral in that move. Ollie Pearce with a good run inside. That defender, I think he's tried to pull it across the face of the goal. It's just got blocked, but better from City. Much better.
Told to get a move on with the throw in here, Ebbsfleet. Down the line it goes. Batty nods it forward. Sinclair, he goes to ground. Referee clearly shouts no, as he thought Sinclair's trying to win a free. Stones does well to come forward, and he's got away from his man. Don't push. Now there's a pushing and shoving between Josh Stones and one of the defenders. Stones will go into the book for that. A bit silly. He's pulled away by Ollie Pearce.
Actually, I feel for Stones there, because he was impeded, shall we say, and then the arms came up and he reacted. He probably, in utopian land, he wouldn't react, but he let the defender know not to push him again.
Just going to have a chat with both of them, or is he going to show 2 yellows?
I would hope a chat.
It might just be a chat here. Which is probably the right decision. They high-five between the two of them, and it is.
Yeah, well.
The Ebbsfleet fan not happy that Stones got away, but if he gets yellow carded, so too will the Ebbsfleet man.
The Ebbsfleet player put his arms first on Stones there. Stones was just protecting his territory, I think.
11 minutes gone this second half. Still 0-0. The goalkeeper has let the ball go right behind him, so he has to take ages there now to go back to walk to get the ball and take the free kick. The referee's telling him to get a move on. And blowing his whistle. What's going on?
What is going on?
So he's taking it from the wrong place. He's claiming he doesn't know where it's from. Kovalan, that's taken an age. That should be a good 90 seconds added on to the end.
He's taking something.
Howe clears. Hunt over his shoulder. Stones over his shoulder. Looking for John Lewis. He goes to ground, the centre circle. City trying to break forward. Referee gives the free kick quite rightly, so there's no advantage. Hunt is over it. Lays it off to Batty.
Oh, let's play on, ref.
Oh, come on, referee. It was in exactly the right position.
Yeah. City are trying to get this ball moving, but between the Ebbsfleet's throwing it down and the referee getting in the way, we just can't get any momentum going. Desperately trying to.
Hunt lays it off to John. Gets it back, does Alex Hunt. On halfway, spread it forward. Looking for Howes up there. Comes off a red-shirted man. And they're going to get it clear. Monka, that's not a great clearance though. Straight to John. John to Hunt. Howe controls it with his chest and manages to lay it off to Fagan Walcott. Did well there, the big centre-back for City. And then Batty, crossfield ball without looking, hoping to get Sinclair. Not well dealt with by the Ebbsfleet defence. Sinclair then goes to ground. Free kick York City in a dangerous position. Centre of goal, just left of centre. I reckon about 28 yards out.
I thought it was Stones that had chipped Sinclair there. I've got to be honest. I might be wrong.
Well, there's no complaints from Ebbsfleet.
No, there isn't.
You're wrong this time, I'm afraid.
I must be, yeah. For a minute I thought it was a comedy moment from the referee.
Right, what they're going to do here, City? Is it going to be Hunt?
Well, we need some inspiration from somewhere, in front of the goal. We can create a chance or two.
They do need some inspiration on BBC Radio York.
It's quite far out.
It is. It's a little bit further out than I thought, actually. The wall's a yard outside the penalty area. It's like 29 yards.
Yeah.
There or thereabouts. There's 3 of them over it. Hunt, Sinclair and Batty. John's gone across for a word as well. Now it's Hunt and Sinclair over it, trying to work out what they're going to do. There's a 3-man wall, then with a gap that Fagan Walcott's in the middle of. He's coming across this near side. Sinclair's looks as though he's going to take this. Is he going to shoot for goal? We'll see. No, it's going to be Hunt. And he does shoot for goal, but it's high.
Yeah.
It's wide, and it's not very handsome.
It's nowhere near, unfortunately, for Alex Hunt there.
And they're going to make a change here, the home team. In a second, a double change incoming for Ebbsfleet. Is the referee going to let him do it now? Yes, he is. Here we go. So Kwame Thomas is the first man to come on. Striker. The 4th official's having trouble with his body here, Ian. Would you believe it?
Nowhere. Shock, horror.
Can't get his board sorted. It's Pasley, I think, one of the guys who's coming off. He's wandering across this near side. This is the slowest walk off. It is. Pasley comes off for Thomas. And then the second change is going to see Chapman, Ben Chapman.
Pasley to be replaced by number 22, Ben Chapman. Also leaving the pitch, number 28, Aaron Cosgrave.
And it's Cosgrave, the striker, that comes off for Chapman. It's Chapman and Thomas come on for Pasley and Cosgrave. Imagine this. See now, what's he doing here? He's just finally got. He's been about a minute. He's just suddenly got the board right. So he's shown it as the 4th official on this near side. I'm doing it, so I'm going to show it.
I was almost like, look, it works. Flashing the numbers.
Cleared downfield. One in the air by Howe. What do Ebbsfleet do though? I think everyone thinks they're down, but do they still believe they've got a chance? If they do, they've got to start winning games.
Yeah, well, if nothing else, it's pride, not getting beat by teams. And this, it's this age-old thing. The lower league level team is trying to get one over on the big boys. Us being the big boys today, and there's that internal pride in the players.
Do they go for it though? What's the point doing for Ebbsfleet?
Well, that's a good. Well, it's not a loss, I suppose. For the manager's point of view, he'll set them up to not lose.
How? Down the centre of the field, looking for John Lewis. John Lewis gets the better of his defender, then the defender does well to get back in. They have it through midfield. Comes to Howe though to intercept for City. He gives it to Sinclair. Pitch starting to cut up as well.
Yeah, it's not the greatest surface, is it?
No,
probably.
The wind turbines going around very slowly in the distance over the back of that stand. Long ball downfield. It's not really City's game though, is that long ball, is it? John Lewis and Stones are playing through the centre here, with Felix high up on the right and Sinclair high up on the left. John up against Thomas. Shirt's been pulled for both of them. The referee allows play to go on. Then they send it down this right hand side, and Callum Howe comes across and puts it into touch once more for an Ebbsfleet throw in, 10 yards away from the corner flag. Oh, they're going to waste some time over the throw in as well.
I'm not sure what else Adam Hinshaw can do. We're throwing everything at them.
Chapman's only just come on. Yeah, he just spent ages there, just pulling his socks off.
Yeah. They have slowed the game down at every occasion, and we've got to grow. We're going to get used to this with these teams that are down near the bottom of the table. They just don't want to lose.
Chapman to Moncur. Moncur holds it up well near the corner flag. Tomorrow managed to dig out a cross as well that John is able to clear for City. Sent forward once more, pushing the back of Batty. You heard him appeal for it, and the referee gives it. The crowd right in direct line didn't appeal for that either, so that, again, the referee has got that one correct.
Yeah. Oh.
City knocking it around at the back. Howe to Mail to clear downfield, looking for John Lewis. Beat into that in the air is the shop. Pearce, who's playing in the centre of the midfield at the minute, sends it across this left-hand side to Sinclair. Can't find him. Moncur wins it, and then John puts it into touch, gets a round of applause. Still 0-0, under half an hour of this game to go here on BBC Radio York. City desperately need a goal.
They do. They desperately need to get a foothold in the match. It's just, I think we're playing at Ebbsfleet's pace almost. They've managed to slow us down, and they're making it very hard for City to gain any traction in the match. City are trying and they're throwing everything at it, but for some reason it's just not.
Thomas lays it off into midfield for Ebbsfleet. Sent forward again. Fagan Walcott did have his hands in the back, could have given a foul there, the linesman in front of us, but he didn't. The referee had no chance of seeing that. And there's a bit of a pushing and shoving going on the centre field between Hunt and Thomas. It comes across this near side to Chapman. He gets past Sinclair, edge of the penalty area. Chapman opens up the angle, crosses into the box. Good foot in though from Callum Howard, coming from behind his man. Has to be really careful not to bring him down there. John Lewis flicks it onto Stones. Stones got defender back, just to get him men back, gets past his defender, but then there's good covering by another Ebbsfleet defender. Did really well there, Josh Stones to start with, but then Ebbsfleet defended it really, really well, Ian.
They defended with their lives all afternoon. They really have made this a very awkward game for York City, which you would expect a team down at the bottom to do. We keep repeating ourselves.
Fagan Walcott somehow kept that in play, and Stones got around the back of his man. Shirt being pulled. Stones tries to let off the Pearce in the box. Take it down. Penalty. Has to be. Penalty. Yes. Is a penalty, York City. Yes. Ollie Pearce wins the penalty kick. It looked right. We'll watch the replay. He got the wrong side of the defender, got the wrong side of him, and then he braved for the penalty. The referee gave it, not the linesman, but the referee did look across. Let's have a look at the replay. The linesman, it's a good move from York City down the right hand side. Stones does really well. Wait for it to come across, but it is going to be a penalty to York City. John Lewis has got the ball, but surely he's not going to take the penalty, is he?
No, Ollie Pearce is all over this, I'd imagine.
Right.
Ollie Pearce has
played
done
through
well.
to Pearce. Oh, it's a penalty.
It's nailed on.
He's come through the back of Pearce.
He's just got the wrong side. The defender.
The defender doesn't complain as well, which is always the telltale sign. There are no complaints from Ebbsfleet. Yeah. So the referee's got it right.
Again, to be fair to him.
John Lewis and Pearce are over it. Now Pearce has handed the ball by L. John Lewis.
Stones does ever so well, his strength and determination to get through, and Pearce's run is perfect. Oh, it's an absolute nailed on penalty.
Come on, Ollie. This is your moment. Someone's trying to send him back to Worthing here when the Ebbsfleet fans to our right hand side. He pulls up his shorts, Ollie Pearce, right footed. Referee blows his whistle. Here he comes, short run up, 3 or 4 yards It's the back of the net. The goalkeeper went the right way to his left-hand side, but Pearce finds the corner. He goes and celebrates in front of the York City fans. I'm not sure it's deserved, but it's Ebbsfleet 0, York City 1.
Yeah, well, listen, you have to find if you're up against a team that's hell bent on not losing the game, you've got to find a different way of winning it, and York did just then, albeit a penalty. The run by Josh Stones, the strength, determination, and then the run by Pearce was fantastically timed. Defender made a mistake at some point. I think we said in the earlier on in the game, we said when they made that mistake, which they had got the mistakes in them, City got to be alive to it, and they were alive to it there. And Ollie Pearce getting the penalty, but he deserved to get the penalty because he made that run. It's a fantastic run, and City, out of the two sides, will be very happy right now.
I have other good news for you. Solihull have equalised at Barnet. It's 1-1 in that game. Wow. And Forest Green is still 2 down at Braintree.
Wow, what an afternoon this could be for York City. Well, now, I tell you, Ebbsfleet are going to have to open up, David, now. And I think if they do, you might see why they've let in so many goals this season.
Waiting for this game to get back underway. Latest scores then in the National League. Fylde 0, Dagenham 1, Barnet 1, Solihull 1, Braintree 2, Forest Green 0, Eastleigh 2, Aldershot 0, Halifax... just a bit on my screen. Where's it gone? Halifax 0, Boston 0, Gateshead 0, Altrincham 1. Goalless between Hartlepool, Maidenhead and Oldham and Sutton. Southend 0, Rochdale 1, 0-0 Woking Tamworth and Yeovil 1, Wilston 2. Game back underway. 1-0 to York City. Ollie Pearce once more with his 19th goal of a very, very productive season. Ebbsfleet though picking up at edge of the penalty area. Good tackle comes in there from Fagan Walcott. Looked a little bit two-footed. The Ebbsfleet man's rolling around on the ground, and City clear long, goes all the way through to the goalkeeper at the far end of the field. It looked a little bit of a clumsy tackle. Now the referee's going to stop play. The Ebbsfleet players want him to be sent off, Fagan Walcott. We didn't even give a foul, so he's not going to get that.
I think that's a great tackle. I might be biased.
We'll watch. I thought it looked clumsy. There's now a bit of a kerfuffle between the two benches. Elphick's really furious with Josh Wright. They're trying to get him sent off the Ebbsfleet bench, and Gary Elphick and Adam Hinshelwood do not like that at all, as you can imagine. Right, we'll watch the replay. Now the players are coming across. They're arguing with the York City players at the Ebbsfleet bench on that far side. Let's see what happens. Ball at the back. Howe nods it down. Fagan Walcott then comes in on the edge of the box. He wins the ball.
It's a cracking tackle.
It looks all right from here. You can't really tell, but it looks all right. Now it's all going off in the box again. The fourth officials having all on down here with Tolu Sangunwawa to try and keep them separate. Everyone's going to come across there and take on some fluids.
He's got to win. He's gone in for the ball. It's solid, admittedly.
It's a strong challenge.
It's a strong challenge. But he's won the ball. That's from what I can see. He's won the ball. I bet the lad gets up. He's just been... He looked like he'd broke his leg. I bet you any money he gets up. He's tried.
Oh, he's going to be fine. He's going to be absolutely fine.
That's a cracking tackle.
Yeah, he's going to be absolutely fine. Knows it as well. At the back. The striker here. Tap on the back from his physio over there.
The centre out looking nothing wrong with the lad. He's absolutely
fine.
He looked like you needed hospital. Crikey almighty.
He's not even hobbling off over there.
There's nothing wrong with him.
Embarrassing.
This is embarrassing. It's a hell of a tackle. And he's wound the fans up, which is, I suppose, good fun. But, yeah, more than...
Now the referee's coming across to talk to the fourth official. Let's see what happens here, because it was all kicking off on this near side. Who's he pulling across? Josh Wright, the Ebbsfleet manager's getting pulled across, hand in the pocket. What colour is this card that he's going to be shown? It's a yellow card for him.
It's actually Josh Wright's assistant, isn't it? I think.
No, it's Josh Wright. That's Josh Wright. Who got the yellow card there with a comeback hair. And who's he pulling across here?
Yes,
Gary Elphick is going into the book as well. Yellow card for Gary Elphick. Yellow card for Josh Wright. And now the referee's going to have to go and have a word once more with Coverland to tell him where to take this uncontested drop ball. There's the little girl in front of us with the chips and all the different sauces in there, and she's starting to drop them on the floor. You've got to be careful with these chips, haven't you?
I might be picking them up for her. And you know what, I was really watching that sequence of events there, you know, Gary Elphick and Adam Hinshelwood stood their ground, and Josh Wright and the other one shriveled back into their hole. Honestly, I don't say that with any, you know, trying to be malicious. They stood their ground, and Gary Elphick said, that's just a great tackle, and Josh Wright backed down, I think, because it was a great tackle. Rough and rugged, but centre halves are meant to make tackles on the edge of the box. That's why the defenders.
He's having a great game as his referee.
He is. He's seen it. And look, their lad, nothing wrong with him. But he's dancing around as if he'd crippled himself.
There's nothing neighbourly, though, between the two benches, was there?
Nothing what?
Neighbourly.
No, not at all. But Alan Dale managed to sort that out, so.
Well played, Jim. Down this right-hand side, Batty comes across. Ebbsfleet managed to keep it in play. Goes to John into the centre of the midfield. Edser on his left foot to Moncur. City getting players back. The man is still waiting to come on that far side of the ground is Lancashire. Now he's told he can come on because he's been off for the 30 seconds. Ebbsfleet, though, are forced back to Stewart on this near side. It's definitely got the crowd more involved. Stewart sent it forward. That was a nice ball. It's been laid off to Moncur. I don't think he meant that, but he's got it back as Edser. Good play this from Ebbsfleet. Now he tries to get across and it's blocked by Pearce. And then Pearce is taken out right in front of the referee. The yellow card comes out immediately and is shown to the man in the centre of the park. Well, I think on this occasion is slightly unfortunate to have been booked.
Yeah, just got it. He was late, wasn't he?
It's Toby Edser.
Definitely a foul.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
17.
Probably looked a lot worse than it actually was.
Former Aldershot and Nottingham Forest youngster.
Yeah, I don't think there's
a few in the book here for the home side. Stewart, Olagunju, Edser, who are still on the field, are on yellows. City haven't picked up one, apart from Gary Elphick. Long ball downfield, over the head of Josh Stones, straight through to the goalkeeper it goes once more. He balls it out to Stewart. Stewart, he plays it forward, intercepted by Hunt. Red shirts, though, get it. That's a nice play down this left-hand side again. Trying to fend it back to Dommy. Franklin Dommy can't do much with it. Sinclair then can't do much with it. And it's picked up by Chapman. Chapman, back to the man who's just been booked, Toby Edser. He gives a little 1-2 to Thomas. Now back into midfield to Bolger. Bolger gives it to Moncur, who comes looking for the ball. Across the left-hand side, Dallison to Lancashire. Down the line it goes once more to Moncur. He thinks about putting it across in. Keeps hold of it. Tries to get past Ollie Pearce. Pearce can't stop the cross. Fagan Walcott can head clear though. Jurassic Man into the box. Shot comes in. Blocked by Josh Jones, who's back out helping. He just threw himself in front of that and may have hurt himself a little bit, Josh Jones. But what great play that is by the big York City striker.
Brave. Doing what he had to do. He had to get back in and help his team defend, and that's what he did.
Moncur, good tackle by Felix to win it back for City. Batty picks it up, plays it forward to John Lewis. He lays it off around the corner to Stones, who looks okay. He gives it wide right to Felix. Felix now to Batty. Ebbsfleet 0, York City 1 here on BBC Radio York. Fagan Walcott calms things down and goes back to his former captain, Callum Howe. Of course, John Lewis now wearing the armband. Batty has some room to feed it out once more to Felix. Felix comes infield over halfway, tries to lay it off through to Stones, intercepted though, doesn't find a white shirt, and now Ebbsfleet can come forward once more. It's suddenly become a lot more open, which I'm not sure is how York City want this game to be.
No, Ebbsfleet have certainly opened up. They've upped the pace of their sort of, their pressing game, if you like. They're not sitting back and defending quite as much.
Sinclair trying to turn the Ebbsfleet defence. Stones, an ever-willing runner, can't get there though, and it's played back to the Ebbsfleet goalkeeper. He clears onto the head. In fact, Howe can't get there. Fagan Walcott can instead. John Lewis tries to turn, gives the ball back. It's his standing foot and gives it straight back to a red shirt. Now he comes forward to Chapman. Chapman lays it off. Back to this right-hand side. It comes to Bolger. They don't look like a bottom of the table side, you have to say, with only one win to their name all season. Moncur back to Lancashire, far side of the field. Up towards the York City penalty area. Back to Moncur it goes. Moncur comes infield. Moncur turns one way, then goes back out to Lancashire on that left-hand side. He just puts foot on the ball and then bursts into a bit of pace into the centre of the goal. It comes, edge of the penalty area. Lays it off to Chapman on this right-hand side. City need to get this clear. He skipped past Sinclair. Sinclair takes him out. Free kick and a yellow card to Tyrese Sinclair.
Yeah, I think that was coming, if you like. Referee was pressured into booking Tyrese Sinclair, but I think it was a booking in its own right.
Right decision again.
Yeah,
but a really dangerous position for a free kick.
It is. And City got to defend with their lives here. It'll be worth it, lads. It's been an awkward afternoon, and fair play to Ebbsfleet for making it awkward. Hasn't been glamorous for that reason, but this is what they've got to do because they're in a scrap.
Everyone back for York City. Beyond the penalty spot. Moncur's over it. Two-man wall is set up. There's a small wall though. Sinclair
a striker just in front of Pearce, with nobody. If Moncur sees him, he could wrap this into his feet here.
Bit of pushing and shoving going on. Moncur swings it in now. Free header, and it's put over. He got in front of the York City man. Did the Ebbsfleet man.
Good delivery.
And it goes over the bar.
Yeah. His delivery has been really good, Moncur, this afternoon.
1,745 with 495 from York. It's 500 York City supporters to be backed up by the best part of 1,000 on Tuesday night at Barnet. Ryan Fallowfield now getting ready to come on for City. He's coming on for Tyrese Sinclair, I think.
Interesting. Again. So is Cam John gonna... Oh no, Ryan Fallowfield's going across to the right.
For York, coming onto the field, number 2, Ryan Fallowfield.
So Fallowfield has gone to right back. And...
To replace number 7, Tyrese.
Free kick taken now, or goal kick taken, by Howe. Downfield. We'll come back to that in a second. Stones tries to flick that on, hits his shoulder, but still finds Pearce. Pearce gives it back to Stones. Stones tries to thread it through, and he's got it through to John. Tight angle, needs to put it across the goal. He does. Oh, just missed the York City man. Tapped in! Ollie Pearce once more with a tap in from 2 yards. That should be the game for York City. Ebbsfleet 0, York City 2. Ollie Pearce is up to 20 goals this season.
Yeah, and it's no surprise to me, David, without sounding too clever. Ebbsfleet had to open up, and their football in the last 5 or 10 minutes has been pacey, it's been more lively, but they've left gaps at the back now, and Ollie Pearce has absolutely exploited that. Cam John, I think the ball into Cam John, was it Josh Stones who played him in? Brilliant football, and a lovely ball by Cam John, and Ollie Pearce doing what all good strikers do, David. 6-yard box, tap it into the back of the net.
I think that's the first assist for Cam John this season.
Yeah, well, it's a great ball in, and he was put in superbly. I think it's Josh Stones, it is.
It's Stones that threads it through the 2 centre-backs.
What a pass.
John stays onside, pulls it back across the face of goal, misses out John Lewis, who goes near post.
Yeah, it's not good.
Ollie Pearce hangs around in the middle of goal, 6 yards out, and he's got a tap in. He won't score an easier goal all season.
Yeah, City have had to work hard, David, for this, but I tell you what, they might just feel a little bit more proud of what they've achieved this afternoon, because this was an awkward match. Ebbsfleet made
it's not over yet.
No, Ebbsfleet made it really hard, but City have come through. So far, so good. They've come through and really shown another side to their game. Resolute, strong, determined, haven't given up at any point, and they've now getting the rewards.
He's not having a good afternoon again, this 4th official. He's messed up his board. They're giving out over the public address system what was going to happen, but he's got the numbers wrong on his boards. He's given up the board, but still the change hasn't been made here, because the Ebbsfleet players don't really know what's going on.
No.
Every single week. Samuel comes on. Is it Ebbsfleet they gave out on the tannoy? I think it is, on the public address.
I think so.
Yeah, you tell him,
No one's quite
sure. Even the gentleman to our right-hand side is having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
He's not been in the best of moods most of the afternoon. We found that quite funny. Howe clears for York City. They lead by 2-0.
They found a way. Again, they found a way. City.
12 minutes, plus a lot of injury time there should be to go. Mail, downfield. John Lewis can't win that in the air. Picked up by the red shirts once more. Yeah, Ebbsfleet have been all right. As I said earlier in this half, they do not look like a side. There's only won once all season and is bottom of the National League.
Do you know,
long ball downfield, that's going to go out for a York City goal kick. The rain has started to belt it down out there.
Just prior to that, David, when Ryan Fallowfield came on, Adam Hinshelwood moved the team around a bit and he pushed Cam John up further. Massive plaudit to Adam Hinshelwood. He's seen something, he's pushed Cam John on, and within 30 seconds Cam John's hitting the byline and whipping an assist in.
He's getting a bit of grief right in front of us here, Cam John, from the defenders, and Cam John's having a bit back here with the crowd. Barnet have scored again. Barnet leads Solihull by 2-1. Braintree still 2 up on Forest Green. Forest Green come here on Tuesday night.
They'll struggle.
Ebbsfleet can put up a decent performance then as well.
Yeah, they'll struggle to break them down.
Down this right-hand side, Ebbsfleet, that's straight into touch. That'll be a York City throw. Right, let's have a look then. So what we're doing, they've gone 3 centre-backs, haven't they? Because Fallowfield so far tucked in.
Yeah.
So it's Fallowfield, Howe and Fagan Walcott. John's pushed forward on this left. Felix has pushed forward on the right. In the centre of the park is Alex Hunt. And then it's almost a front 3 of Stones, Pearce, who's that slightly bit deeper, and John Lewis.
Massive plaudit to the management. They pushed John up, and within seconds it proved vital.
10.5 minutes to go. City in search of a third. Good ball forward from Hunt, but no one read that. Felix was on his heels, and it's going to drift out of play far side of the ground for a goal kick in front of those rain-sodden York City supporters.
Yeah, it'd be what could have been a miserable afternoon. It's suddenly got a lot better for these City fans.
Been drenched.
Yeah,
there's a lot of hoods up over that far side.
Drenched, frozen, but they've seen their team find a way of getting themselves in front in this match.
I'll give you another set of fans that aren't enjoying the day. That's the Scarborough Athletic fans. 2 down at Scunthorpe now.
Oh dear.
In National North. Here comes the change. Max Mancatello comes on, and he stormed off straight on the tunnel there, the guy that's come off. Who was it who came off? I think it's the big centre-back, wasn't it? What's that all about? Shouts the gentleman to our left-hand side. I think he's been really good as a defender. But he's been hooked, and then he's had it straight down the tunnel. He's not happy. Mustafa Olongunju. Goal for Scarborough Athletic, 2-1. Got a goal back almost immediately there. And Harry Green, I think it is, who's got that goal for Jonathan Greening's side. See, Michael Woods left Scarborough Athletic during the week.
Has he?
Yeah. Mutual consent. Short term there, I think for family reasons, travelling reasons. Not sure where he lives these days.
Didn't he end up playing up at South Shields as well?
He did, yeah. Throw into York City. Joe Felix takes it. Up to Stones on the edge of the box. Wide right. Felix nods it back in. Looking for John Lewis. Cleared by centre-back Stewart. Into midfield it comes. Moncur still has a little bit of quality about him despite...
Good player. His deliveries have been brilliant.
Yeah, maybe starting to get towards the end of his career. Well built as well, isn't he, in the centre of the park there. Moncur, who's sitting a bit deeper now. He did start off just off the striker. They've gone 4-4-2 of the home team. That goes into touch. That'll be a York City throw-in, but Fagan Walcott's not going to rush to get that ball. It's gone dead behind the goal line. He leaves it for Harrison Mail to go and get. The referee making a point of pointing to his watch, but there's no Ebbsfleet player going anywhere in here and showing any interest in going for it, so why should York City? 8 minutes to go in this game. Ebbsfleet 0, York City 2. I've got a feeling we might be speaking to Ollie Pearce post-match.
I think there's every chance. I mean,
do you reckon he'll be man of the match?
I think there's a good chance of that.
We'll never get to know, will we? Because it'll only give out a home man of the match. How good block from him finds its way to John. John tries a bit of keepy up and then clear, but he can't do so. And then it goes behind off an Ebbsfleet man, and that'll be a goal kick as Kwame Thomas wanted a free kick.
Of course, it absolutely justifies Pearce starting this afternoon. We know he's a goal scorer. He's our top goal scorer, and he has proven to be the difference so far this afternoon.
The lady's telling these 3 young girls in front of us to be quiet because they're going to get picked up on the radio.
Oh, bless.
Mail gets the goal kick off Howe and then clears right-footed down the centre of the field, looking for Stones. He loses out, and then City try and win the second ball, which they almost do through John Lewis, and he's just run into the Ebbsfleet man. Just couldn't stop himself there, Linnell John Lewis. He got into a bit of a gallop and he tried to put the brakes on, but he still ran into the Ebbsfleet defender. Referee gives the free kick and plays immediately back underway. That left-hand side, the crowd are a lot quieter now, aren't they? I think they think the game's gone. I still wouldn't fancy it if they got another goal, if they got pulled one back in the next couple of minutes.
No, that'd be
7 to go. Intercepted by John. Looking for who we assume would be the man of the match, Ollie Pearce, who goes to ground. Hunt takes a fresh air shot. So too, actually, a kick. So too does Batty. And the red shirts come forward with Moncur. We're just going everywhere searching for it. Samuel, now down this right-hand side, looking for Dommy. Stays off. Yeah, he has just strayed offside. Yeah. Thought he had. We're not directly in line, it's just past us. But he did look as though he was beyond the York City defenders.
Yeah, both Ollie Pearce and the 2 players there. Dan Batty as well. Fresh air in the ball.
Free kick to City then, centre of the field. Mail comes across and gets ready to take it. It's not been unduly tested, Harrison Mail.
No.
They did get that goal that was, we think, quite rightly disallowed right at the end of the first half to Ebbsfleet, so I'm sure they'll have complaints about that.
Yeah.
Even if it is the right decision, you still have to think they've been slightly unfortunate because you don't often see that at this level of football. Flicked on, and the goalkeeper's going to come together. Again,
Ollie Pearce probably gave a really good... He was the first to cross to the linesman to point it out, and then it's probably the linesman's then had
flag
to
never
think.
went up, so then they've gone celebrating. They're ready to kick off again at Ebbsfleet, and then the referee slowly went across, and I'm guessing the conversation went something like, he was in front of the goalkeeper, was he in an offside position? He said yes he was. He said, right, I'm disallowing it.
Yeah, and I think Ollie Pearce will have reminded the linesman of that.
Last-ditch tackle there from Howe. And then Ebbsfleet fan runs into him accidentally, and City get control of the ball on the far side with Batty. He gives it to Hunt, to Stones. Now in field, that's a poor ball though for Hunt. It was a simple pass there, Josh Stones, but to be fair to him, after giving it away, he goes back trying to help out his defence and trying to win the ball back. Ebbsfleet now come forward down this right-hand side. Forward through to Dommy. Tackle comes in at him from Fagan Walcott, and now he can go forward on this left. Go on, Malachi. Off you go, son. Over halfway. He's taking. He looks like a winger. Oh, skips past him. Down on his near side, and he gives the foul as well. Well played, Malachi Fagan Walcott. He was like a winger flying down that left-hand side.
It's like Alan Hansen running out of defence there. Absolutely priceless. It's shattered now. He's going to get back in. But yeah,
he's across in his homeland here. The west side is our friend Jim Robinson, the referee.
On this west wing, on this left wing.
Yeah, the west wing. That's what I meant to say. Tell when your jokes go wrong, isn't it?
I tried to pull you out, but
thank you. You tried your best.
Yeah, we'll edit that one out later, surely.
Batty. City not sending too many forward for this. Batty gives it to Stones. Stones lays it off back to Dan Batty. Batty. Mrs. Mangle was always my favourite.
Mrs. Mangle. No, my favourite was probably the best actor in the series.
Well, go on.
Bouncer.
If anyone else wants to send in their favourite neighbours characters, feel free at BBC York Sport 81333. Start your message with the word York. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Again, start your message with the word York. Goalkeeper has it again. And he's pinged it out this right-hand side, and they've kept it in play. Of Ebbsfleet have given away possession cheaply to John. He gives it to Hunt. Forward it goes to Batty. Batty to John once more. Across this near side for Stones. John infield. The Olays from a few York City supporters the far side of the ground. I'm not sure it's been an Olay sort of performance.
It's been dogged. It's been dogged. They've done what they've had to do, City. They've had to dig deep at times, but I think they've been the better of the two teams. They've shown more ambition, but at times it's been frustrating.
To Pearce, they've got room on that right hand side.
Like that.
On the right hand side, Pearce has slipped as he tried to send it out with his left foot. He apologises straight away to Joe Felix, who burst a gut to get down that right. Then there's a collision in midfield, but nothing goes, and the referee allows play to go on. City going to win it back though through Fagan Walcott. Really well played again from Malachi. Who's having a scream in front of us here? What's she not happy about, our friend in front of us, Ian?
I think just life in general.
Not everyone can come from York, Ian.
This is true.
Most beautiful part of the country. Back it goes across to York City goalkeeper Harrison Mail. And then Callum Howe. Howe forward to Pearce. Pearce back to goal, clattered into from behind. Free kick given to York City. Ollie's now going to make the most out of this.
Yeah.
The Ebbsfleet player kicks the ball into the back of him as well. He's all right, is Ollie Pearce. He's just trying to waste a few seconds. He's helped up to his feet by Fagan Walcott and Howe. Referee saying to him, come on, you've got 2 goals, Ollie. Puts his hand on his back. Stop moaning, let's crack on. Oh, here we get another substitution for York City. Junior Mwamba. Who's he coming on for? He's coming on for super little Joe Felix.
Another. For Joe Felix, he never drops below a level, does he? His work rate gets him out of all sorts. It's Cam John that's actually coming off. I think Joe Felix is coming to this left, David. And Luamba is going on to the right-hand side.
No, we're often to say this, but you are right, Ian Dunn.
Thank you. Just like to make sure.
Yep, so Mwamba comes on for John. Felix comes across to left wing back. Mwamba will be the right wing back. And this 3-5-2 formation, or 3-4-3 formation, as it has been.
Oh, Joe Felix has been so
Pearce
consistent,
is now,
hasn't he?
Yeah, Pearce is now sitting a little bit deeper, isn't he?
Yeah.
Playing alongside Batty and Hunt in the centre midfield, and he hooks that ball forward. 2-0 City lead. About to go into the final 60 seconds. Then we'll see what injury time is allowed, or is given, rather than allowed. Goalkeeper lays it off down this right-hand side. Good header, clear by Fagan Walcott. Sent forward once more by Ebbsfleet. Howe this time. It's his turn to try and clear his lines for York City. To Felix. Fagan Walcott now does clear downfield. Over the head of Stones. One at the back by Stewart. And they've worked it well. And there's a free kick given in the centre of midfield as Junior Mwamba is penalised for a tackle. And that'll be a free kick to Ebbsfleet in the centre of the park. Barnet still 2-1 up on Solihull. Forest Green still 2 down at Braintree. That could be the result of the day today. If Braintree can keep all those 3 points, surely the Cats got 2 late goals. Forest Green. Here comes the change. Moncur's the man who's coming off. Rakesh Bingham is coming on. So a creative midfielder is replaced by a striker. Here is your moment, Ian, to try and wow all of us. Free kick taken, headed clear by Howe. Hunt completes the clearance. Rakesh Bingham, of course. What's your Scottish team? You have many teams in many divisions, but what's your men's Scottish team?
Hamilton Accies.
So off you go, Rakesh Bingham.
Yeah, he's not a bad player. Quite good. Always turns up on time. And he likes red and white.
What colour do Hamilton Accies play in?
Red and white.
How many appearances? Was he there for a long time?
He played a few games.
Goals?
Not many.
Someone please tell me he was there for a long time.
He has graced Douglas Park, new Douglas Park as it's called now, of course, as you'll know, obviously.
Of course.
When they built the new stand.
Yep. Stuart, for Ebbsfleet, they've got everyone forward on the edge of that York City penalty area. I missed what went up on the board. I didn't hear it over the public address, although they did announce something a second ago. And it comes now into the box. Howe wins that header clear for York City. Allowed to bounce on the edge of the area, and Pearce gets it up towards halfway. Nodded back once more by Ebbsfleet. Felix this time gives it to the man on this near side, to Chapman. His colours run in the back of his shirt as well. Good header clear once more from Callum Howe, and it's back up to halfway with Stuart. City just happy to have everyone back behind the ball. Keep it out of the net. They lead 2-0. We're into injury time. In forward it comes again. Mwamba. Anywhere will do from him all the way down to the other end of the field. And the goalkeeper, who's 20 yards outside of his penalty area. He's going to clear as Coverlan. Get it up, shouts Josh Wright, the Ebbsfleet manager. Onto the head of Callum Howe. Free header clear for him. They are open a bit at the back if City can win this. Hunt tries to give it to Pearce, and then there's going to be a high foot from Pearce as the defender nodded down, so he took his foot away, and Ebbsfleet come forward down this right hand side with Dommy, right hand side of the penalty area. Dommy's faced up now by Fagan Walcott. Dommy gets a cross in, takes a little nick off somebody, and he got across his man there at the near post, did Rakesh Bingham, but fortunately there was a man behind him and he was able to clear. The ball was just a little bit too high, and back to halfway it goes once more. Adam Hinshelwood not happy with Ollie Pearce there for not clearing that a little bit better. Forward again, round the back it goes with this near side. Bingham cuts past there, Fagan Walcott. Good block then from Howe and Fagan Walcott. Both threw themselves in opposite directions to block that ball, and one of them did the trick. Forward now towards Stones for York City, but the red shirts have it still. On halfway, little bit of pressure as we play out the rest of injury time here on BBC Radio York. Ebbsfleet 0, York City 2. The scoreline remains, it's still 2-1 to Barnet and 2-0 to Braintree against Forest Green. Now to this right-hand side, it comes to Mantelo. He plays it forward once more towards the edge of the York City penalty area. Laid off to Chapman, wide right. He gets past Felix. Felix isn't going to let him go, though, and he gets back in well, does Felix. Back it comes again to Mantelo. High, looping cross, the edge of the box. Nodded down by Ebbsfleet, cleared by Callum Howe. City desperately trying to keep hold of this clean sheet. What would be a 13th clean sheet of the season. John Lewis lays it off to Hunt. Now City can come forward on the break, and they've got players forward here. It's 5-on-4. Hunt, middle of the field. He's got Mwamba wide right. He goes wide left, and he can't beat the defenders. He tries to thread it through to Pearce, and the chance is gone.
Yeah, and City had more attackers than they had defenders there. A chance for City to have a break, and not a good ball from Alex.
Ebbsfleet again in midfield. Bingham holds on to it in the centre circle. Has to get round the referee, as well as Dan Batty. Sends it out to Chapman on this left-hand side. Felix, well played, Joe Felix. Gets the tackle in, throw in directly on halfway for the home team. Showing more urgency in this last 5 minutes than they have done all game.
They have.
That's a nice little ball around the corner to Dommy. Dommy, return balls, the flag going to go up? No, flag stays down, cross comes into the box. Cleared from under his bar there by Ryan Fallowfield onto the roof of the stand. Corner kick.
Yeah, Ebbsfleet desperate to get a goal for their fans, if nothing else. You just wonder if they'd have started to play at this a little bit earlier in the match and putting City under pressure, if things could have been different for them, but they didn't.
I think it might be 3-1 to Barnet now in their game against Solihull. A corner kick. Last action of the game here. City leading by 2-0. This near side. It's about to be an in-swinger. In it comes now onto the head of Callum Howe, who clears well. City, everyone back though, so it's going to come back for a second time. Oh, it's not. It's blocked by Hunt. He needs someone up front. Hunt on this right-hand side in front of us. Now he's got runners. Batty and Felix. Hunt gets past his man. Can he send it to Mwamba? No, reverse ball to Batty, who's forward on this left-hand side. How does Dan Batty got there? He puts a cross into the back stick, can't get ahead of the Ebbsfleet man, and he's picked up by Felix in the penalty area. Tackle comes in on him. Pearce picks it up wide left in the penalty area. He's forced towards the corner flag. Goes back to Felix. City just trying to see out time now. Happy to keep it in that corner of the ground. Felix once more with Batty. Appeals for offside. Nothing given. Batty just holds it up by the corner flag once more and then rolls it into touch for an Ebbsfleet throw-in.
How to take the sting out of the attack. Well done, Dan Batty.
It was, wasn't it? So it's 10 to 15 yards up from the corner flag. Throw into Ebbsfleet. They're going to have to get right down the other end of the field now, and they trail by 2-0. City will be taking all 3 points. Throw in towards halfway. Fagan Walcott wins the header. Felix sends it forward. John Lewis gets on his bike after that. Put into touch by Stewart. Throw into York City. How keen are they to get a third goal here, the Minster men?
Well, they're not stopping and sitting back, City here, are they? They can sense a third.
They're not that keen though. Fagan Walcott and Howe staying back.
No, they've readjusted their ambitions for this match now.
Felix. Still debating what to do with this. Is Joe Felix. Full time in Harrogate Town's game against Swindon Town. We'll bring the score in just a second. Pearce tries to lay it off, but straight to the red shirts. And then Ebbsfleet man goes to ground. And that'll be a free kick. The referee has a look at his watch. And the goalkeeper will come out to take the free kick. And Harrison Mills just let the ball fly past him there into his own 6-yard box. That means that Ebbsfleet have got to go running after that to get the ball back and send it down the far end of the field to take the free kick. Ebbsfleet 0, York City 2. Barnet have won by 3-1. They all stay 4 points ahead of York City. Forest Green, in the 5th minute of injury time, are still trailing 2-0 at Braintree. So York City will go up into second, a point above Forest Green, and will have a game in hand. 4 points behind Barnet with 2 games in hand. That game on Tuesday night is absolutely massive. If you're not one of the 1,000-odd fans that will be going there, make sure you're with us on BBC Radio York. And our programme will come live from the Hive. There is the full-time whistle. York City get the win. Get in, says Ian Dunn. Adam Hinshelwood now comes to shake the hands of the Ebbsfleet management team. It all looks to have calmed down there. Everyone seems relatively happy. That has been a decent game, I think, for both sides. York City got the result. Ebbsfleet put in a bit of a performance. Adam Hinshelwood's walking onto the pitch there, just punching the air. Yeah. You can see him with his fists clenched. Yeah. He's delighted to have got those 3 points in, because that was not as easy as some people maybe thought it could be.
No, it really wasn't. That was a really determined Ebbsfleet side who made it very, very awkward for York City. But credit's got to go to the management, the players, particularly in that second half. They did things a little bit differently. They had to work even harder than ordinary to get the points, and good teams do that. They find a way, and City got the penalty. It wasn't lucky, it was a penalty. It was a definite penalty, so it was a good move. And then the second goal was a fantastic goal. So City have earned 3 points here for me. They've stuck in, they've dug in, and they showed what winners do. They win matches by hook or by crook. They find a way, and that's what York City are doing right now.
They certainly are. Full time here, it's Ebbsfleet 0, York City 2.
On BBC iPlayer,
I live for this feeling.
Oh yes!
Stacey Solomon and the team are back.
It is full to the brim. It's a wall of stuff.
Helping families clear their clutter.
Dessert spoons, teaspoons, tablespoons.
Who has a dessert spoon? How did you even get all of this in there?
And making life a little better.
Wow. How good is this?
It's literally changed the dynamics of our family.
Brand new, Sort Your Life Out.
This is life-changing for every single one of them.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
BBC Radio York Sport.
So full time there at the Cufflink Stadium, where it's finished Ebbsfleet United 0, York City 2. Ollie Pearce with 2 goals in the space of 10 minutes in his return to the side. Also full time at the Exercise Stadium between Harrogate Town and Swindon Town. Did Harrogate manage to be able to hold on for the victory? Let's get a full time report from Tim Steer.
They certainly did. It's finished Harrogate Town 1, Swindon Town 0 in an absolute dictionary definition of Jekyll and Hyde performance. After a terrible first half display from Harrogate Town, they came out all guns blazing with that same 11 in the second half and looked by far the better team at the start of the second half, and they were rewarded with the only goal of the game, a first goal for Jasper Moon. It was a corner routine played from the right hand side, pulled back to the edge of the box, Bryn Morris had the shot towards goal, and then it was deflected in by Jasper Moon about 8 yards out for his first goal for the club on 53 minutes to give Harrogate Town the lead. But they had more opportunities to stretch that lead further, the best chance coming from across from James Daly from the left-hand side. Both Josh March and Bryn Morris ran in unmarked to the far post, 6 yards out. They were literally one in front of the other, but it was Morris that got the header in the end goalwards and put it wide. Maybe if that was Josh March, it would have been 2-0. Easy to say, but either way, it was an absolute gilt-edged chance to go 2-0 in front for Harrogate Town, but they didn't manage to find the back of the net. But it was the second half performance which had more energy, more intensity, more pressing from Harrogate Town, and Swindon Town were left struggling to find a way back into the game. They did have a couple of chances very late on, one coming in added on time. It was a cross from the right hand side from Sobowale. It was a flicked on header, fell to the top scorer Harry Smith 12 yards out, who hit it straight at James Belshaw, who managed to save with his legs and turn it over the bar in what was the last chance of this game. And with Morecambe winning at home to Accrington Stanley and Tranmere Rovers picking up a point as well, it can't be underestimated how big a victory this is for Harrogate Town, as it keeps them 7 points above the bottom two. Full-time score at the Exercise Stadium: Harrogate Town 1, Swindon Town 0.
Thank you to Tim Steer. Also full-time at Glanford Park between Scunthorpe United and Scarborough Athletic. James Fletcher.
It's finished Scunthorpe United 2, Scarborough Athletic 1 in a 90-minute football match which just was pulsating and tense and enthralling if the neutral had been here today. It started with Callum Roberts from a direct corner kick. He somehow managed to swing it all the way in, deceiving Scarborough Athletic in their own box, and that was the only real black mark on Scarborough Athletic's first half performance, because if anything, they played the better of the opening 45 minutes. They nearly went 1-0 down after a minute, however, when Alfie Beeston was played through one-on-one, Ryan Whitley making a smart save, and Whitley was called upon for a double save in the first 45 minutes too. However, Scarborough Athletic certainly did not drop their intensity, playing a back five for the majority of the game. They switched in the second half, and they actually brought Waldron off and brought Stephen Walker on. They couldn't get the two strikers really into the game. It was all down the wings where Scarborough Athletic were trying to get some joy. A free kick in the 79th minute gave Scarborough a hope rather than a real clear-cut way back into the game, after Carlton Ubazunu earlier had scored for the first time in 23 outings, ending his longest dry spell without a goal coming off the bench. Scunthorpe United had more from the bench. Murph Fadira, the York City winger, on loan here, showed class and is already a fan's favourite. Scarborough Athletic had a lot of huff and puff in the final 15 minutes, but they couldn't test Ross Fitzsimons enough. It finishes Scunthorpe United 2, Scarborough Athletic 1.
Okay, thank you to James Fletcher. Reaction to come elsewhere further down the footballing pyramid today in the Northern Counties East Football League Premier Division. Tadcaster are back to winning ways, winning 1-0 at home against Rossington Main. It finished goalless between Knaresborough Town and Silston, and Pickering Town beat Thackley by 2-0. In Division 1, Clubthorne Colliery and Harrogate Railway played out a 2-2 draw. Josh Lockwood with the equaliser late on for Railway, and disappointing day for Selby Town. They go down 2-0 at home against Wombwell Town. So it's over to you. Your messages and opinions are most certainly welcome here on BBC Radio York Sport. But before we hand you over to the verdict, it's 5 o'clock, so let's get a latest check on the roads. Where the A1 is partially blocked going north between Rangbrook and Wentbridge because of an obstruction, and just some roadworks to look out for elsewhere. In Howden, traffic is taking turns on Treaton Road for gas main works at Sutton Road. In Thornton Le Dale as well, there are temporary lights on Moulton Gate at Station Road because of water main works. So that's your travel news for North Yorkshire. Don't forget, if you see a problem out about on the roads and it's safe and legal, you can let us know about it by calling 0800 111 48 49. So it's full time in all of our featured games this afternoon here on BBC Radio York Sport, and it is just gone 5 o'clock, and this is the verdict.
Have your say on your team. BBC Radio York Sport, the verdict.
where it was a frustrating day for York City away at Ebbsfleet United. The home side had a goal disallowed before the break, but cometh the hour, cometh the man. Ollie Pearce at the double, converting his penalty kick and then adding a second.
Stones tries to thread it through and he's got it through to John. Tight angle, needs to pull it across the goal, he does. Oh, just missed the York team. Tapped in! Ollie Pearce once